Scrim leaks are back. Well, actually, it's a lot more than Scrim leaks. The newly formed We Are Spitfire, London Spitfire team, is scrimming. And not only are they scrimmaging, but they're scrimmaging other top teams, and they're leaking the replay codes. I got access to the replay codes thanks to Coach Christopher and Hadi. Also, a lot of these scrims are actually being live streamed by Cloudy and a lot of the other players. So if you're interested in seeing more of these, I'd highly recommend checking those streams out. Anyway, I had access to the codes. Decided to take a look at some of the considered potential pro meta, the new pro meta moving forward. And the reason why these codes I think are going to be so much fun to watch is not just because finding out what is going to be the meta with new Season 9 at the top level, at least right now, but also this isn't strictly mirrors either. There's different reads. There's Kiriko Lucio with Winston. There's some Zenyatta with Ball. There's some anti-dive stuff with some Baptiste, Brig, and so on. So there's going to be a lot of variety of what's being played. And we're not going to take a really in-depth analysis of those matchups and really just how to play dive overall as a whole. There's a lot of really cool little niche discussion points during this besides just the straight up scrims review. So if you're not a big person for pro analysis and pro review, this might be a good one to start with, because while the level of analysis may be a little bit overwhelming at times because we do go pretty in depth, there's a ton of little niche details that are really applicable just in ranked, really regardless of the characters that you're playing, about map control, dive fundamentals, map fundamentals, timing, and a lot more. Let me know what you think in the comments. Obviously, the pro meta is still evolving as we're speaking, so we'll see how this looks like in a couple of weeks. And I think we got a hot fix, I'm sure, coming up in a couple of weeks as well, so we'll keep an eye on that too. But yeah, enjoy the video. And big shout out to Hadi, Christopher, and We Are Spitfire, and the teams that they were scrimming, Team Peps and OWLSprayCheck, for having these codes and just these scrims in general be public. Like, it's such a cool thing to be doing in the offseason. Okay, let's take a look here. So I guess the main thing here to note is that, like, as Chris has confirmed, is that this is just like experimentation phase. Obviously, it's way too early in the meta to really know for sure. We do know that Zenyatta feels pretty strong. We do know that some tanks feel kind of awkward, to say the least. We do know that a lot of the dive characters in general feel a little bit better. Some of the brawlier characters feel a little bit worse. And really, especially at this level, all it takes is just a subtle nudge, like just a sneeze, and meta just snowballs really out of control. Remember that all the characters that are being played are not necessarily meta because they're strong. But remember when we had the discussion on Season 9, you have meta because you have a mover and shaker, you have a strong character, and then you have meta of the characters that go well with those strong characters, right? So, Team 2 is Spitfire. Team 1 is OWLSprayCheck. That's Kevster, Kai, Vastola, Ghost, who's like a new kid on the block. Not really a new kid, but definitely an up-and-comer. And Masa, who's the absolute opposite, the old guard. But yeah, I'm actually curious to see how the Symmetra looks nowadays. Because, you know, I think this comp loses a lot of value. Chris, if Chris is still here, I'm curious to see if this comp even functions anymore, because you lose the big value out of this composition was a significant poke threat of having a one-shot with BAP window, and then being able to two-tap with Symmetra. At least the threat of two-tap. And also with the DPS passive, that means that your AoE healing out of your BAP Lucio is a lot weaker as well. I actually feel like this comp is probably a lot worse. Might still be playable, but yeah. Huge punch there from Vastola. Also, man, Doom AoE punch now has to feel so bad right now. So basically just AFK on point. And the key thing with this composition, we'll do a pretty surface level analysis of this, because this is something that has been analyzed a million times. The idea is that you don't want to stack resources. You want to have shield do one thing, wall block another thing, and so on. Because if you look at the enemy comp, there's Dynamite, there's Junkrat Spam, there's Doomfist Punch. There's so many things that have to be dealt with at the same time. Yeah, so it's going to be all about like controlling space without wasting too many resources on the same thing. Body is pinning just to control Ghost. Yeah. What is it? Oh my gosh. Kevster. There's no way. I don't even think he knew he was there. Oh my gosh. A lot of Korean players think Doom is strong. He could be. The punch buff was huge. Question is, do they brute force it? Now, the key thing with the Junkrat pick and why you don't see it as much is it's not that it's bad versus this composition. It's really good versus this composition. It's just risky. Like if they swap, if this is a team that would want to swap, then you would get turbo stomped. Now it's probable that London's more just limit testing and experimenting more than anything else, which is why they're probably not swapping here. But like the Junk is vulnerable to other comps, right? Like, oh my days.
Oh my days. There's really not, we don't even need another perspective here. You don't need the 2-tap if you're just hitting every single projectile. They do flip point though, which is nice. That's a TP pin. Check this out, y'all. Oh, it's not even a TP pin. My guy just wrapped around. That's hilarious. Okay, well, they got at least 13% here. No swaps, coming back in with BAP window. Again, the problem with BAP window is it doesn't one-shot with sim orbs anymore, which is a little unfortunate. Don't watch this, Mr. Spilo. Nope, too late. Oh, are you wait. Are you the new assistant coach, Suji, right? You're the new assistant coach. We got the big brain in chat. All right. Nice, nicely done. Okay, there's just no way that you guys win this fight, though, right? So this is surely a reset fight, right? Surely a reset fight. Yeah. Yeah, that'll do it. And the punch is just, does he have punch? Oh, he does have punch. Oh my gosh, that is defensive to me. That's okay. I think that Kitsune Rush was a little overkill maybe, but yeah. Team not Kevster? I mean, obviously, we Spitfire! You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. But I'm a big fan of Kevster. Moss is a good guy too, so. Nice! Nice, Sparker! It must have been a headshot from Backbone. Or not even a headshot. Just straight up got ruled. Now they rush. That res should be punished. It doesn't. That forces Valk. Ay. The time to kill. Have you guys okay, I'm sure you guys have considered this, right? But have you guys considered doing, I guess that kind of kills the whole point of the comp, but maybe if I see Ashe junk, maybe the play is not to TP to point. Maybe you guys need to break the comp and like actually TP off point. Cause like you get the classic is that like you're playing this into like Ana, Echo, Genji, you know, stuff like that, right? Where you can't really push stuff. I definitely think we need to jab out. I think you got to jab out. Because they're running 2 immobile DPS, and then they're also running Kiriko, who's not going to really punish you that hard for turning your back on her. You know what I'm saying? Like a nade, you can't turn your back on Ana, you just get naded. Right? So you got to TP on the Ana, and then everything else screws you over. Right? But this one is like, I think if you like TP run an Ashe junk, I don't think they pincer enough. And then even like their setups, like let's go back to here. Like even their setups, if you fake rotate here and TP out top, that Ashe is dead. That junk is dead. It's over. You know, they're cooked. They're cooked. And there's no punish from the Ana on the opposite high ground. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think that like, I think versus their particular anti-comp, like, I think you just have to make that read really fast. Like if they're running hyper immobile DPS, then there's no way going to point can ever work. This code's gonna be public. I think it probably is fine. Yeah, remind me. So they do get out. Hadi goes the Le Doomfist. This is just stagger chasing. This is just a totally different matchup. I actually think I'm gonna skip this because this is more just like recontest swaps. That just like it's basically just deathmatch at this point. And because they don't actually swap off of the Junkrat fast enough, they might actually lose this. Yeah, they lose. And Kai also messes up his Bob. Yeah, there's nothing really to learn here. You guys punish the Junkrat swap and clutch it up. Nice. Okay, let's skip. I'm just gonna click and drag. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so Zen Lucio. Well, I'm curious what backbone will play. Sombra Sojourn. No, Echo. Makes sense. So let's talk about Zen Lucio. So we're finally going to talk about probably the reason why some of you guys are here, which is the Zen Lucio stuff. Now, what we know now are that Zen Lucio benefited massively from the projectile buffs. Zen Lucio are also not as offended at the lack of healing output because the lack of the DPS passive doesn't really affect the kind of stuff that they want to do anyway, which is the utility. Now you might Orb, Aura, yes, those things got nerfed a little bit as well, but Lucio and Zenyatta's strengths of their kits has always been through their utility anyway. Yes, and the Lucio boot buff as well, exactly. In addition to that, when you see a map like this, where there is positions and sightlines for you to set up your Zenyatta in a power position and control multiple off angles, my cat is freaking out. She has the paper bag tied to her. Give me a second, chat. Hang on. Hey, Marty. She has the bag She had this around her head and was zooming around the house. So we are now, yes, okay, it is, okay. Regardless, Zen Lucio, long sight lines, long enough on this map. And crucially here as well, like if you think about like what got buffed this patch as well, it's not just Zen Lucio, received indirect buffs and direct buffs. You look at the characters like Tracer, right? Like a Tracer is always going to love playing with the Zenyatta if there's a situation where she synergizes really well with the Zenyatta. So this is how Spitfire wants to work. Spitfire obviously wants to dive backline. You're running Ball, you're running Tracer, you're going to want to go for backline and get a kill on backline. But, crucially here, you have the ability to control space with your Echo, with your Tracer, with your Lucio, and with your Zen. So let me look at it this way. If you're not being dove as Zenyatta at this exact same moment, then what are you going to be doing with your Lucio? Right? What are you going to be doing with your Lucio? If your Zenyatta doesn't need peel, what are you going to be doing with your Lucio? Lars, thank you for the sub. So you need to use your Lucio proactively to go duel with your flankers on off angles. Like in the same way that Brigitte can have impact with her armor packs without actually physically being there, Lucio needs to physically be there, but he can actually get to a lot of locations that Brigitte can't. So you can see right off the bat that this is an imbalanced fight on the left side here. 1-2-3 versus 1-2. This should mean Kevster should lose the angle. Losing the angle means that now we might have the pincer that we need to actually go for backline. We probably won't go for backline immediately, but that is the option there. So we're going to let it kind of roll out for a second. The Echo is being played because she's really, really freaking good in this map with the amount of high ground and vertical cover. I'm actually kind of... I'm surprised they went backwards.
The objective is now active.
I'm surprised they went backwards. I'm also surprised that Kevster went backwards. Okay, so let me, okay, we're gonna pull up Microsoft Paint. We're gonna pull up Microsoft Paint. All right, guys, let's draw this. Let's draw this. This is Zenyatta. Zenyatta here. Lucio here with Tracer and Ball. Echoes here. Brig, Tracer, Cassidy, Bap, Diva. All right, here's what happens. Zenyatta, in theory, can pocket this angle, but even if it's too far, Zenyatta pockets Echo, plays far enough to where Diva can't just solo dive and insta-kill, okay? These three take the contest here. Because it's a 3v2, Kevster has to drop, Brig has to disengage and give space, at which point these guys get this angle for free, which means that your Ball gets the free area on the backline to set up a pincer onto their backline. Now, crucially here, your Tracer doesn't have LOS on your Zen, so this means that the Tracer Lucio have to work together in terms of supporting each other because you're not going to be able to get Zenyatta support. All right? So what this means is that this means this angle should be totally free to set up and engage. And this also means that this Brig should lose this duel here. Why don't they go Monkey and just dive this in? Needs a lot more healing, and BAP is not going to work very well with Monkey. So because they drop backwards, and I think it's because they're concerned about maybe Diva going in Zenyatta, I'm not really sure. And maybe they don't think that they need the angle, which I would disagree with because in Spilo, everything is angles, right? They lose the pincer onto this backline here, which makes the effectiveness of this dive a lot worse. You need to have multiple angles of attack for an effective dive to deny the value of cover, to deny the value of your cooldowns and your matrix and your lamp and so on. So the problem here is not only that London peels back here, which I don't like. The problem as well is that Kevster, chat, what should Kevster do right now? Where should Kevster go right now? You guys should know. Deep in the flank, yes. Kevster should then, because Kevster is free, Kevster should hold the angle here. Deep flank then might be too far because Kevster will get marked pretty easily. He wants to play within his Brigitte's LOS. But you need to ask yourself, what's the deepest flank that Kevster can take while still being a Brigitte to LOS? It's this right here. Now, chat, why is this angle important for Kevster? What can Kevster do from here? Think about it. What do you see on your screen right now? What do you see on your screen right now? Or even here. Do you see it? Do you see it? Do you see it? Do you see it? Shoot the ball. Ball gets no cover. Passive advantage. Because you control the angle with Brig, passive advantage. Backbone tries to poke, doesn't get poked. Passive advantage. Constant pressure. London peels back here. I do not agree with this decision. And because of that, they give up this angle for free, with which Kevster could take this angle with Brig packs without Brigitte needing to be with Kevster. Keep that in mind. Because she needs to stay near a BAP cast and just passive advantage right here. This is okay. If you have seen any of my VOD reviews of any flankers, you do not peel in your backline. It is actually really bad, really bad. You do not peel in your backline. You take the angles that these guys want to take to pressure and mark them. And shockingly, look who shows up the pincer 2 seconds later. Sparker. Where is Kevster? So London gives up the angles. I don't love this from London because I think they had the 3v2 here. I think that they could have, maybe they thought that there would be BAP help, but I think they had it for free. They give it up. They make a mistake. But OWLSprayCheck, instead of actually like taking what was given, they just fall back. We've got clumps looking at each other right now. You know what I'm saying? And while Hadi doesn't get the exact perfect off angle, Hadi can at least use the off angle of verticality, right? And Sparker is retaking that angle, crucially. You guys see this? You see this? You see this? You see this? So Sparker screws it up in the setup. I'm not going to lie to you. I think they screw it up. But they do get Sparker back in the angle. They do get back onto the high ground. And this is no bueno. This is really not good. This is really not good. In fact, the only like this setup is much better from Spitfire. This is just a little bit of impatience, I think, from Landon. Let me think about this here. What could Landon do? Honestly, y'all? Honestly? Okay. Hear me out. Thank you, Fawn. Hear me out. I don't think Landon needs to maintain this angle anymore. Why does Landon roll out high ground? Why does Landon roll out high ground? Why would you want your Zenyatta rolling out here? Think about it. You remember this contest over here? What happens if you lose this contest over here? Or you mess it up. Or even if you want to help it, you can't see anything, right? Like you roll out here, you just die instantly, right? From either angle, right? But, the fight, there is no threat on this angle anymore, right? So your LOS is bad. I agree. I think rotate, doubling back to this direction and maintaining the angle on main here is I think you're cooking. Now you are naked to Kevster wrapping this way. But I think you take that risk. In worst case scenario, Backbone can mark. So you start high ground, and then you rotate to maintain distance. The problem with Landon's rotation is it gets him closer, and he doesn't necessarily want to get closer, certainly not closer without cover. Like it would be better, unironically, for him to be here. He's caught in what we call transition time, okay? You never, ever, ever want to get caught with your pants down. If you're going to get caught going aggressive or get caught playing defensive. He's caught in between and he just freaking dies. That being said, I really do like the end setup from London. I just think in that transition point, they messed it up. Yes, pants down moment. Also, I want to see what Kevster's doing. Is he literally just shooting ball? I'm actually just so shocked that he did not take that angle with Brig Pocket. Yeah, this is just cleanup. Upshot, thank you for the sub. Yep, belt OP. Yep, that's it. So, I think could be a lot better setup from both teams, frankly. But London did get the setup that they wanted eventually. And then Backbone goes somber. Why does Backbone go somber? Probably because of the cast BAP. Probably because of the cast BAP. I think, you know, you could think, oh, doesn't they counter somber as well? Maybe. I think Echo does better against, like, would do better maybe in the mirror. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they're still experimenting with things. He flexes to counter the tank. That's a good point, yeah. So here's what I would do. If I were Landon here, I would rotate back high ground again. I would again either play here and allow my team time to set up their passive advantage, then rotate to main. I would not rotate to main until we'd set up. So here's what I'm thinking, guys. This is the flow chart, okay? Take safe power position, set up angles, then commit. This is a commit position from Landon during a setup phase. Let me ask you guys a question. If Landon gets pushed right now, will Hottie or Sparker be in a good time or a good position to punish right now? Think about it. If they rush Landon right now, will Backbone, Hottie, or Sparker be in a good position to punish from off angles? I say no. I say no as well. I agree. I think it's not terrible, but it's not enough. It's not enough. Hottie needs a little bit of time. Backbone's not set up. Sparker's not at a deep enough angle. The way this composition wins... Yeah, exactly, Suji. But you have 3 characters that can recontest. The way this composition wins is by the time that you think that you can dive Zenyatta, everybody's basically already down CDs. Sparker takes an angle with Ball or Lucio. They pressure out the Cassidy here. They get the angle here. Then Backbone's here. And then by the time that Landon peaks, Kai has to worry about there's none of those concerns. Everything on SprayCheck's threat list is right in front of their screen. I think setup phase here is like, I think this is too soon. Yeah, it's too soon. Too soon. And you could tell it's also too soon because Funnyastro should not feel the need to peel Landon here. He should be able to go on his setup phase here. But if you don't have angles set up and passive advantage, then you do have to peel your Zenyatta. I mean, yeah, Cass is looking nicer. Lethal OW is saying Cass is looking... Dennis the Menace is saying Cassidy is looking nicer. Natch. All right. Again, this is a better rotation from Landon because it does maintain distance more. But again, here, my main concern is that we still don't have enough of a catch. Like, Backbone doesn't even necessarily need to be on backline, right? I think that's part of the problem. The part of the logic here is that we're going to play to catch D.Va. But certainly, I don't want to see both of my flankers here. Oh, Landon. That's the new change right there. I think there's just 3... I mean, that's crazy. That's unfortunate. Okay. Wait. Okay, so, chat. I Doom posted. Nice stick from Sparker. Hottie still has his angles, boys. Hottie still has his angles. I never doubted. Oh, no! Oh, no, they reset. Okay, we got to see this. Ah! Nice. He was trying to reset, but didn't know that Daniel was just going to do him like that. So, okay. They get the hack, frontline punish. There's just... there's just no setup here. Like, okay. Unironically, here, Landon again needs to rotate out top again. And then this is... and then again, there's just not enough... yeah. This is... All right, cheers, Suji. Cheers, Suji. This is setup. This is setup. London has to... safe position for Zen, control the angles from that position, then commit a deeper angle to Zen, where it becomes impossible for the enemy team to hard focus Zen without getting punished on the angles. And that setup phase is what's missing. And so Landon tries to take any sort of space without setting up his ball tracer, Sombra, Lucia, etc. at first, and then dies. Cheers, X-Men. I appreciate it. Thanks for the kind words. We're not giving our flankers time to set up, and our flankers aren't being quick enough. He's cheating. Kinda, yeah. Yeah. Kind of. That's a pretty good use of that terminology here. Why not Brig? Because Lucio's strong. Lucio's strong. And in theory, you shouldn't necessarily need the Brig here. It's more of just Lucio's strong character right now. That's why. Backbone and Widow. Gotta love it. Ball tracer setup. Landon rolls out Zenyatta on high. It's okay. Not too many cooldowns are blown there. So I hate using the term kill box here, but we'll call it the line. The line here for London is like right about here. So let's see what we got. Good mark on the tracer. I want to see Astro playing very aggressively here. Especially with the Diva swap, I want Astro playing way more aggressive here on these angles, like way more aggressive, because there's no Stigma, there's no Diva, excuse me, anymore to threaten Landon. And I think things like this here, Sparker's marking Kevster, which is great, but we don't need Astro also marking Kevster. I actually think this is where Daniel should be actually fine to just be a total ass right here. You can't really hard commit versus this comp. You'll just die to cast instantly. But you can absolutely control space here. As long as Sparker's marking this angle with Xenorb and Landon's playing a good angle, which he is, there's no reason for Astro to all. This is redundant. You're 3v1ing the Tracer duel. Totally unnecessary. There needs to be more pressure on backline from Daniel. And he could even just play his own solo angle, right? And then here from Landon, while Hadi's out, he needs to be careful about how aggressively he's peeking this here. So here, this is where Landon needs to maintain a little bit more distance and then play a little bit smarter with his cover earlier. So do you see how he peaks before Hadi's cycle is in? Then Hadi comes in, Landon cycles out. So then now would be a good time to actually like ego this peak here, or at least a better time to ego this peak here. And then also, you know, Kevster's just Kevster and Tracer, so. But in general, a slightly better setup. Backbone Widow good. Yeah, it's good. It's fine. Proper is Kevster. No, I disagree, Ice. I think it's okay. Because if you think about it, Backbone will have the angle here. Your Tracer should be able to mark and control the angle here. Your Ball Lucio should be able to control the angle here. And we've seen Landon can consistently hold the angle here or hold the angle here. You know what I'm saying? I think it's okay. It's gonna be obviously a mechanical def thing, like you need to hit the shots. And if the shots aren't hit, then yeah. But yeah. I think there's logic there. There's Daniel. You see? Let's go, Astro. Look at that timing of that push. Really well done. And then now I want to see him go back and sit on Hadi. You know, like Landon's cooking. Nice. Good. This is good. Again, I want to see, make sure that we're like paying attention to like, Landon. I respect it, but you have to match Hadi's timing here. You have to match Hadi's timing. You have to match Hadi's timing here. Because now Landon's out, that forces beat, and Landon dies anyway. Now is the time to peek window. So they win the fight either way, but that should not have cost beat. Why no Zen? I don't know. People are just experimenting with stuff, really. Is Landon here? Where's Landon? Is Landon chilling? I think they finished scrims. No, he's not here anymore. Somebody freaking at Landon. He's got to pay attention to these windows here. Well, everything revolves around Landon, really. It's not even like a mechanical thing. Like, everything literally revolves around your Zenyatta's LOS here. Like, he is, you guys talk about like the intergalactic emperor mindset with Lifeweaver. It's very similar to Zenyatta, where you're always playing around your Zenyatta's LOS, setting up angles, utilizing your Discord, because he is the carrier or he's the dead weight, one or the other. Not even necessarily through hitting all your shots, just through like playing to the utility that he provides. I think Landon could. Yeah, this angle's okay. They're punishing the choke well, but I actually think Landon could be better served. Again, I kind of agree with Dry Ice. What Dry Ice is saying here, like I would want to see, especially now, Landon should be rotating further left to here. This should be the angle to take here, and then allow Widow to just contest from here, or Widow to be the one that's peeking here. We don't want to be redundant here. It's not. It's mostly nitpicking though. I don't have as much of a problem with it. And by the way. Do you notice that the Astro and Sparker are not doing the same thing anymore? Astro is actually marking the Tracer by himself. Oh dear, that's unfortunate. But that's opening up Sparker to actually harass backline, which is what we wanted to see. I think the only problem here is that Astro just gets fluxed to an extent. I will say though, okay, let me be honest with you guys. I will say that I would prefer Sparker to be working with Astro more. Especially because he doesn't have pulse here. Let me see what was the setup phase here. What was the setup phase here? So he's on the angle here. Astro is with him. Good. It's hard to say no to that angle. You know, like that's a pretty good angle. I mean, maybe it's not that deep. You know, if it's there, it's great. If not, it's not. You know, but obviously that is optimal if you can. Do you like Ashe and ball comps in certain maps instead of Echo Summer? Yeah, it can be fine. Trance is fine. Do not go to point, sir. Do not go to point. Oh, he's dead. Wait, no, he's not dead. I think Hadi's getting a lot of value here. I just want to see better rotations from backline here. I think backline needs to be getting way more value here without dying. Back one goes Mei. It's really not that deep. It's not like they're going to Mei wall rush. Mei is just a self-sufficient DPS that can control an off angle and put out good poke, and he's good at Mei. It's good. There's a lot of characters that could fill that niche. I think it's just going to be about what the character is strong with. Now, let's stop right now. What's the first step that needs to be happening right now? First step. What should happen? Would Genji be good here? Yeah, it could be good. Yeah, Genji would be good. Maybe not his best map, but he would be fine. Setup, okay? Set up an angle, right. Ben Branks, thanks for the sub. Right now, Landon should roll out top here with Lucio. Mei could even soft rotate to here, okay? Ball Tracer deepen with Lucio. You guys got me? We get this control. We force Ghost in this room. And once we get that set up, Landon, when he feels safe enough to do so, then drops for a deeper angle. This is too soon. This is opening yourself up to cheese. Landon does not play as much as Zen. No, it's not. Do you see how stuffed this feels right now? How like the Sigma is doing what the Diva was earlier and just stuffing. And even though he doesn't have the mobility to dive Landon, he can stuff Landon. He's stuffing the angle. If Landon's here, Ball Tracer Lucio, do not get stuffed. This Dolo will shift, shield, drop the point, open up the lane, and then allow us to deepen that backline. The advantage of your Zenyatta in Discord and poke from this position where he's literally untouchable. Literally untouchable. Like, look at this. Look at this. They're giving Sigma value by stacking here and not assaulting this. They're giving the Sigma value. This is what Sigma wants to do, right? Now they're going to beat engage rush, so maybe they cheat. Yeah, they cheat. They cheat. Somebody messed up. This should not work. Oh no. Oh no. The lamp's late. Ay. That should not have. And I don't think, does he even shift? He doesn't even shift. Hey, you know what? A good team play, you know? If it works, you know, it works. They cheated. They cheated with beat and it worked. For you guys who don't know, cheating is a term when you disregard map control and you just run it down mid because you have an ult advantage. There are lots of good times to cheat. I actually think that was a little bit fortunate, but you know, if you have beat, sure. Okay. I like the setup here. It's good. Leave it to the London boys to cheat. They will always cheat. I love this setup here. This is a good setup. So I'm just going to have to worry about point. It needs to be Astro with Sparker. Or Backbone Sparker. It's fine too. And crucially here, do you notice as well, like they don't freak out. Like they still have a pincer here. And Hadi is still getting like massive slams. Good setup. Good setup. This is great. This is a really nice setup from London. They need the Transis now. Just for Backbone, no ice block. Good. That was a really nice setup from London. I mean, it's not a hard setup to do because you have all the high grounds, but yeah, that was good. It's really, really well done. Great cycles from Hadi. Good job managing the point without like overcommitting. Yeah, that was nice. That was good. I endorse cheating, yes, when it's done appropriately. Yeah, okay. Any questions you guys have? Setup phase from Landon and the London boys is the big thing that's missing. For OWLSprayCheck, oh geez, we put a lot of emphasis on London here because I think I'm more interested in like the Ball Lucio comps, but I can, if you guys have any questions with that as well, I'll be happy to look at that too. Legally not London. Yeah, my bad. You guys want to look at Rialto? Let's look at Rialto. RCG VVW. Oh yeah, I forgot we already had that in there. Thoughts on Hadi Ball in general? I think Hadi Ball it's probably his second best character. I think Hadi Ball is good. Second or third best character. I think Hadi Ball is underrated because people only think about all the times that he fed in 2021. When actually, I think his mechanics were pretty good in 2021. His just like approach to the game was like too scarred by his team's performance. You know, HC Gambit, thank you for the sub, but I think Hadi Ball is good. I think it's his second best character. Mage's comfort pick are good on that map. A little bit of both. I think it makes sense. Like Xin Lucio opens up a lot of DPS can function with Xin Lucio. Do you think both comps are viable? Yes. I think both comps have logic. Are both comps meta? I don't know. I don't think anybody really knows right now. These guys don't even know, right? How to set up the ball in this comp? Play around your backlines LOS, get support. I mean, yeah. Is the Zen high ground spot good for Honor or BAP? Yes, initially to start with. It's more important for Zenyatta because he's a little bit more fragile, but has a little bit more range. So he can set up on that long angle, allow his flankers to take all those long angles, and then drop once he needs to. Is this in Lucio comp when Do Tracer Brawl play together versus Lucio Tracer playing together? Depends on the situation. Lucio Tracer is a little bit more limited in scope because Lucio is not quite as quick as Ball. But yeah. Why Lucio over Brig? Because Lucio is strong. Lucio kind of functions similar to Brig in terms of he can help Zen, can also help DPS. The playstyle is very different, but the idea of what they provide, but Lucio just is stronger than Brig right now. At least that's the theory. Yeah, Backbone would was fine. What's up, Javelin? Are replay codes for the public? Yeah, if you guys, yeah. I mean, I can give you guys. Let's add a codes command, and I will update it as we go through the. These should be. This is not accurate. Okay, there it is. Commands edit codes. What do we have here so far? 04PTXK. And then RCGVVW. I'll update them as we go through them. Do we see not London having trouble with double flex? I mean, yeah, they should. I mean, Masa's not going to be an S tier Zenyatta for sure. Hadi gave me codes. Hadi gave me the codes. Yeah. Okay, let's take a look. Kiriko Lucio. Now, this is the sauce, okay? I think the Ana might not be played because I think the healing nerf maybe affects Ana too much. And maybe that makes things like farming nano or just keeping the sustain in your monkey hard. And so the advantage of the Ana just isn't there as much. That would be my expectation of why we're running Kiriko for not London right now, or London Spitfire right now. Like, I think this has to be Ana feels bad. It does also, here's the other thing that Ana provides as well. If you look at the Sigma, what does Sigma want to do? You guys saw it in the previous round, right? Sigma wants to lock a shield on and control a backline, right? But if there is no backline, like there is with this comp, the Sigma feels a little bit trickier. So you can just take angles and basically play like a 4th or 5th 5-man dive. This is the composition, by the way, right here, that kind of killed poke comps and brawl comps back in 2022. It transitioned into Reaper because Reaper was a lot better in the mirror and Sojourn and stuff like that. But you could just run a comp like this and just literally 5-man dive into somebody and then Suzu, and then that person just died almost without even staging that much. So yeah, for these guys, it's just about controlling lanes, controlling angles. Remind me to not too focus on London. I always focus on the people that I'm more interested in talking about. And I think this composition is more interesting to talk about than the other comp. But yeah, I will gladly answer any questions. The key thing here is going to be how do you move cart? Because it could feel tough. It could feel tough. Sparker's doing a good job avoiding damage right now. They need to try to get the cart as close to the corner as possible without taking damage. Uh-oh, that's a very late rotation from Bap Cassidy. And chat, do you see it? Do you see it? Sparker with the W. This is it. Sparker not transitions from cart, the angle, to high ground, the angle. If he's there even half a second sooner, I think they force lamp. Oof. That was good. That was a good try. That was a good dive. Now, the crucial thing here, and this is where the DPS, I think, passive really hurts, is Hadi goes in. All right, so let's watch Hadi. Bubbles fine, zaps are fine. Love to see it. Okay. Hadi stays just a little bit too long, forces Suzu, but he can't really go anywhere. And this is where the DPS passive hurts, where Hadi might just freaking die. And it also takes a lot longer for him to get healed back up to full. You guys want to apply this in ranked, you got to be in and out, in and out, in and out. You cannot have these gray zones with these characters. Maybe if you're playing a Sigma, okay. But Winston is in or Winston is out. It has to be that clean. Now, I'm curious to see what was Backbone staging like here. The Discord makes it awkward, but obviously a cut like this would have been a lot more preferable. Yeah. Astro does not quite get the boop that he wants either, so too many people maintain high ground. Bap getting booped is meaningless. Oof. What happens here? Hello? That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. I'm really surprised. I was going to say, I'm surprised that SprayCheck is actually holding this high ground as long as they are. I think once carts to here, I think you have like so many pincers from 1, 2, 3, sometimes even 4 different directions. Generally what you would do is you'd have your Sigma, maybe maintain top with Cass or with Bap, and then you'd have your Zenyatta playing like a Narnia, like way over here, outside of Winston jump range and just kind of off angle control. You want to boop Sigs in or Caster? Yeah. But this is good. Don't chase. Okay, so they're gonna chase. They're gonna brute force it. That could have gone very poorly. I'm curious to see if Moss is not hitting shots or what. They had cooldowns, so it works. Yeah, okay, well, it worked. So never mind. It was good. that was a little spooky. Okay, Vistola swaps Diva. It's a good swap there. Brig swap as well. Smart swap. Okay, so this is where things get interesting. Because you look at this composition on paper and you're like, what the frick, guys? What the frick? What the frick? Why is Cass being played over something like Sojourn or longer range GPS? I'm not sure. Hinder, maybe the lack of healing. Kai's really freaking good at Cassidy as well. Not sure. Yeah, the deflect was really good there. Deflect was really good here. Okay, so let's talk about this. So this is where things get really interesting because you run the anti-dive Brig, you go Diva, which is good at anti-dive as well. And so you're thinking like, what on earth do we actually do here? Well, the end goal is still the same. However, because the backline just beefed up the cheeks a little bit, you're going to have to be a little bit more flexible with how you're going. The good news is that transitioning from Sigma to Diva and crucially Zen to Brig means the staging, the setup phase where you're taking those off angles that we talked about all the way back in Ilios is going to feel a lot easier because there's going to be a lot less early pressure. The anti-dive from Brig is why they're doing this. Yeah. London's going to have to stage here. This is such a nasty choke to stage from, though. You might just need to farm. I would say you probably just farm Kitsune Rush, 3-2-1 hard commit through BAP window, and pray. I think that's probably what they're doing here. I think you need an explosive ult here to make this work. And if Ghost is smart, Ghost is playing too close. Ghost at this point in time should literally be on the back pole here. And Kai should probably be, Kai's probably okay, but yeah, like back pole here. Back pole. I think Ghost is too close. Yeah, Ghost is too close. Kitsune Rush. BAP window, they commit. They have to commit. They do commit. There it is. So they don't have any angles because this choke is just nasty. There's just no real easy way to set it up. Ghost should die, and he does. There it is. Primal is committed, but it's totally worth it to commit there. That's a bad setup from Ghost. Did I not tell you guys? Yeah. If Ghost is even just a little bit further there, actually that push is dead in the water. Less poke from the new comp, therefore better angles, yes. So because they swap from Zen to Brig and Sigma to Diva, it's a lot harder to actually execute and get a dive, but it's easier to set up off angles because you're not getting, because if you mess up, like you're trying to stage as Winston and Masa throws a couple of orbs your way, you lose like half your HP and you're like, well, frick, now I gotta, like, it's miserable, right? And the same thing with Sigma, he's just constantly pressuring. And you saw it earlier there, Landon like lost half his HP before the fight even started, right? It's not even a God of Preds. It's actually not even that hard. You know that they have Kitsune Rush Primal. This is too close for BAP. This is too close for BAP. What you do is you split. You let your Cassidy play aggressive, your Diva play aggressive, and if they dive them, you're easy. You BAP window lamp pocket, it's an easy. Or they overextend to touch you, you're perfect. Ghost was not isolated. Ghost wasn't isolated enough, right? There were no off angles to worry about being isolated from. And this is where having Kiriko is so much fun because you don't have to worry about like staging your honor or anything. You can just like 3-2-1 rush in. Honestly, here, if I were London, I would strongly consider blowing my entire, like my old economy right here. I think here, you set up at one angle, just one angle if you can, and beat Blade. I think you beat Blade. Backbone maybe comes from cart. Let's see what the staging looks like. I think you need to go. Pistola early, beat, Blade. There it is. Really nice play from London. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Nice. It's good. Took a little longer than we would have liked, but obviously, like, I think Vistola was doing a good job kind of stalling that one out. Now, I do want to look at this again and see what could have SprayCheck done about this. I think here, more than anything, it's the stack. I think it's the stack again. I think if you're going to catch a rush like this, yeah, London doesn't have great off angles here, but man, it doesn't feel like anybody's stopping London from taking these angles here. Again, like this is what you hate to see. You see the stack here? This is death. This is death right here. Especially versus Beat Blade. You can have your Cassidy Ashe playing forward, or your Ashe Brig playing forward, but you can't have Ghost playing this close. Even for the early pressure, it's not worth it because they have Beat Blade. Yeah, Vistola can mark cart. Yeah, that was good. That might mean that we have a recontest here, but yeah. Shouldn't have used boosters. Let's find out. Oops. I mean, I think it's okay if you get enough early pressure, because early pressure can kind of kill the timing of the push, right? Because if he had found Kiriko there and forced TP or Suzu or pushed a couple of blinks, that would have really screwed the timing. I think the boosters was fine. The booster wouldn't have changed the result of this happening, to be honest with you. Like, spray check has to get early pressure without committing too many cooldowns. And their setup there just didn't put out any pressure and yet also allowed like every single 3, 2, 1 hard engage. What is Backbone smoking? Backbone sees something. What does he see? He's thinking we probably need to go early. Yeah, he's thinking we gotta go. I guarantee you, if you guys go into communication, Backbone screaming, we gotta push, we gotta go. And he's right. He's right, because they are gonna get a recontest here. They did not get enough cart push. They need to go now. And so they caught them off tempo while Vestola is still in spawn. Ghost is still not there. This is a clutch fight here. Huge. Astro overextends, so this is actually losable now. That's a huge mistake. What happens, Daniel? He just goes in at too low in HP. She forces it. So now this is probably losable. Tragic. Yeah, okay. So big fight win. And now, man, what do you... I guess London will stick with this comp, but once this comp has like their rally and so on, it gets really hard. The good news is rotating isn't hard with this comp. Hadi goes way too early. Hadi is trolling. He needs to wait for his Kiriko. Danny Astor, man, freaking hate that guy. Anybody that touches Hunter's coaching just immediately like loses like 20% of their brains. We call it the Australian effect. I think the best rotation here would probably be to jump up and over here and get to cover this way. And then that way you cut down on the amount of poke angles that you have to worry about. I think this is too far. I think maybe a little bit too awkward there. They can also punish and pincer you from here. I don't think they can punish and pincer you from here as easy. Worst coach in Overwatch? I mean, even using the term coach is kind of flattery, honestly. Oh, they actually flipped the map. That's actually really smart. I love that. I really actually like that. That's actually super creative. Is it worth it? Yeah, for sure. Ay. Uh-oh. Does Hadi not have bubble yet? Oh, he doesn't have bubble yet. So maybe that's the only problem here. Ah, that's so unfortunate. Potentially winnable here. Potentially. Adi Primal. Almost. Nice, guys. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is just, you know, it is what it is. It was a good setup from London. I think maybe a little bit more patience, so that because they needed to pull the trigger quickly when you're at this far away, but they didn't quite do it. Should Kai and Massa take angles to contest Sparker and Backbone? Yes, they should. There's been a monstrous amount of gross stacking from SprayCheck. Yes, exactly, Anima. I worked in Australia for a little bit of time, and I'm still suffering from that to this day. Cassie's dead, so free rotation. A little bit of pressure on that Brigitte. Oh, Massa messed up. Bad. Massa. No! Massa! Oh, no. Oh, no. Ay. Wow, they actually go for the stick. Kevster does. Will it matter? I don't think so. No, Kai's going to get staggered, so it doesn't matter. Okay. Cap. All right. I think Backbone is just like, he's just thirsting to snowball these things. You know what I'm saying? Look at that. Like, what is my brother doing? No deflect as well. He should just die. Yeah. I don't know about that. Especially with Hadi and Swan. Okay. Is Genji dead? Shut up, Tectris. Friendless. All right, Sparker Pulse. Oh my gosh, I got the hiccups. What is happening, guys? Spilo Pulse? Yeah. That's just a grief. You're going to notice Vestola playing way more aggressive in this matchup just because there's no actual punish, there's no sleep out, there's no nade, there's no discord, there's no soldier, there's like literally nothing that really damages D.Va. So D.Va is... The funny thing about D.Va is like D.Va doesn't necessarily function differently than the Sigma in this composition. Like you guys are probably thinking, oh, D.Va because of the peel. Kind of. Actually, it's more about like the D.Va can poke out this composition from any position they take because she's mobile. She does exactly what Sigma does, which is like pre-fight pressure, but she just is more flexible to when and where she can pressure. That's it. I love German roots. What are you guys talking about? And yeah, that's just an overextension by Vestola, and then people just freaking die. Because now there's nothing stopping the backline from just 3-2-1ing, walking forward, and everybody just freaking dies. So really, a lot of just individual ends here. There's nothing like super deep macro-wise to learn from this. So does Tracer go over the map flip? I'm not sure. I don't think she does. No. Maybe? I don't know. Olendio was always gassing me. He said French roots last time, right? Okay, chat. Who should win this fight? I. Who should win this fight? Obvious answer, right? And if you're London, how do you win this fight? Right. Or else, right? So how do you set it up? Beat Blade, yep. Now, if you're SprayCheck, how do you win this fight? How do you win this fight? How do you win this fight? Go first, maybe. Ajax, maybe. Sacrifice the pawns, force holds earlies. Let me cook for a second, okay? You have to do what we call chaos. All right? Chaos. When you can't play fair, you play dirty. And trading backlines here is not really an option, not with Kiri Lucio, with Beat and Kitsune. So here's what you do. All right? Hear me out. You're going to put Lucio Tracer on this angle here. And you're going to hunt backliners. Cautiously, you're going to try and force Suzu. You're going to try to see if you can distract and harass this way. Okay? And crucially, you're going to stop the cart from moving. You're going to put Ghost in spawn exactly where he's at right now. And you're going to put Vestola standing holding the corner, being basically an IRL punching bag, because Vestola's not going to die, because it's Ram versus Kiri Lucio. There's nothing that can kill him. All right? Now, where should Kai go, chat? There's two choices for Kai. Two choices for Kai. Where should Kai be? Can you guys give me those two positions where Kai should be? Yes, Kai should be literally in spawn hiding high noon from here once they commit. Or Kai should be with Lucio Tracer all the way on the backline. Kai is trolling. This fight's over. That's it. You can't win like that. Like, you can't do this. Like, this is cowardice or inexperience. You know, like you got to know better than that. And why didn't they listen? Exactly. I told them, and they didn't listen. Son of a gun, man. But you know, seriously though, there's been a real lack of creativity, I think, and especially in these old fights. Either playing too close, playing too stacked, not enough flanks, not far back enough. There were options there. Like, you could have clutched that fight. Why not just Kitsune engage then beat Blade? That would be the safer play. The reason why they beat Blade is probably because the Cassidy was so mispositioned. When the Cassidy is that far forward, you just beat Blade. Just kill him. Run him over. Just win the fight now. But yeah, you're right. Kitsune Rush would have been the safer opener. Every fight is winnable, unironically. Unironically, especially with 5v5, because you don't have that off tank to stabilize people from taking flanks like that. right? You don't have that diva to matrix the Cassidy on the high noon or the Lucio Tracer in the back line. Yeah. You have to take risks when you're down 4 ults to 0 in that situation, or 4 ults to 1 there. And the funny thing is that setup wouldn't even be that grief without the ultimates. That would still be really pretty okay. Like, not exactly that setup, but something similar. But yeah. Okay. Why the Mei here? I think they're just being goofy. I think it's a fine pick. There's not a Genji could work here as well. The Mei can wall up and down from the high grounds and allow her to take angles and flanks. And Backbone good at Mei. So might be something that they wanted to try into the comp that they were OWLSprayCheck was running as well. So yeah, I think Mei is if you're very good at Mei, I think Mei can function in a lot of comps. More of a ranked kind of mentality. But you know, we're experimenting right now, so yeah. Okay, control off angles. Set up your engages. Let's see. Yeah. Does Sombra only work against Balmir? Probably. I think there's too much risk for too little reward versus some of these other comps, but that depends on how strong EMP feels in the pros' hands. I think the setup from London is pretty good to start. You're going to be setting up your dives more around this choke around here, though, more than anything else. Okay, let's grade London's setup in 3, 2, 1. Now, what do you guys think of London's setup? Right here. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of London's setup? Give it an A grade, an American A grade. A, B, C, D, F. What do you guys think? I would give it I think I would give it a B or B plus. I agree. I would have Landon right here, I think. I'd have Landon right here, I think. I like where Astro is. Split on the off angle. There's no threat near Zenyatta, so play for boops. Hottie is on the good angle. Sparker's probably fine here as well. Backbone's controlling cart. This looks okay. I think Astro is good. I actually like Astro's positioning. I think Astro is fine with Zenyatta Orb and him playing smart. He can do a really good job controlling space and threatening positions from here. He doesn't need to be in his back lane. Hottie's actually going all the way around behind. You know what Hottie's doing? He's going for a boop in the back line. I think he's going to go for a boop in the back lane here. This looks okay. And this is another thing that Mei could do, right? Mei could just live for 6 years, right? Oh, I guess not. Yeah. What does Backbone do here? Okay, makes sense. Yeah, so there's just no rush here. Like, as long as they control space, control angles, and Landon's sight lanes are good. What is going on with Landon's positioning here? Yeah, Landon's just a little too close. I agree. And what that means is because Landon is a little too close, Astro has to go backwards. And the reason why this is so bad is when Astro goes backwards, this is when Danny should die. That's right, Danny's dead. Okay, this is the idea. All right, this is where Daniel should die. Because that's the one really bad thing about Lucio is going from one angle to the other angle, he dies. Zen should be playing here, be demanding 0 resources. And now the only problem with that obviously is that Backbone won't be able to get orb from there. So that is the one caveat. But in that case, maybe they need to let Cart rotate a little bit further forward. Oh, man. Did we not call it, though? Did we not call it? High ground bridge area? Yeah, that's actually true. This would be good. This would be all right. This would be all right. Yeah. Oh, man. You guys want to know why Lucio is being played? I mean, he also got shot by Backbone, I think, across the map. To be fair. Too close. Too close. He's too close. Landon's too close, which is forcing Astro to then miss position. Because again, this is what you need your Lucio for this. This is free boop. Free boop value here. You know? Free boop value and then a free slam from Hadi. You know? Landon. Landon McGee. There you go. Oh no, Hadi. Does Hadi screw up here? Hadi must screw up. Oi, that is a lot of damage. Holy. He gets a fat shield here. I think he just gets fanned. Oh my gosh. That's a bit of a feat, but I mean, that's hard to, you go in there with 900 HP. It's like, it was just Landon wasn't there. That's the main thing. It's good rotation here. And backline. They will have time to hit. Hear me out, chat. Where should Landon be right now? Where should Landon rotate for the fight? Where should Landon rotate for the fight? Think about it. Why here? I'm telling you this is the place to be. Why here? Yeah, he has time to do that rotation. He was right here. Look. Look. Think about it. Again, what's the purpose of Zenyatta? What when we talk about safety with your Zenyatta, what does safety look like? Triangles, right? Angles, distance, right? Distance. This is too close. This is too close. He could get so much damage from this position and really not even risk anything. Right. Long angle, cover, crossfire. This is too close. And then he should have tranced that. He just gets murked. But it does not take long to get there. Guys, he was here. He was here. He was literally right here. It takes less time for him to rotate here than it did to what you guys were saying. Not what you guys were saying, what he actually did. Doesn't play Ryan as a character bad? Yes, most likely. Ball also good. So the key thing to note here is that there's no you can't memorize positions. I mean, on King of the Hill rollouts, you have to memorize positions, but you also have to know what you're looking for. You look for a long angle and sightlines. That's a good boot from Vistola. That's so annoying. I do think he should try to retake it though, but they're probably looking to rotate more aggressively with Trance. This is a good position. This is a good position. Lots of early pressure here. Lots of early pressure. They almost get the wall. Setup here is pretty good as well. Notice that Daniel is playing with Landon here because they are a little bit close for comfort. But honestly, they're just a little bit close. I would not want to get my Trance Force just because Masa looks at me. It's a good setup here. This is a good setup. I'm curious, where's Sparker here? Little messy. I want to see, let's see what Backbone's at. Where's Backbone at? Chat. Backbone, where should we be? Think about it. Think about it. Yes. There. I think actually no. I think Backbone should keep. I think Backbone should deepen here. Actually, I think Backbone should deepen. I think deepen. Yeah, they had a lot of ults. It works. Trans is forced because pulse bomb, but yeah, okay. Okay. Will they hit the rotation? Surely they'll hit the rotation. I think they'll hit the rotation. Well, yeah. This is, by the way, look at what Kevster does here. Kevster goes to cart early to try and push. If Kevster's actually smarter and holds the angle here, I actually think he's cooking. Hear me out. Why is Sparker not marking cart here? Think about it. Why is Sparker not marking cart? Why is this free? It's pulse bomb, right? Pulse bomb. So Kevster, in theory, has a free opportunity to force cart. He just needs to do it from better cover. If he forces cart and pulls Hottie or any sort of attention this way, this is what allows his team to rotate for free. And then if they ignore him, he gets free cart push, and then he actually gets a wrap Pensar on the backline here. What happened? What happens though? Oh, Landon just, yeah. So my Landon just dies. So then we just rotate for free. Cheers, Genuine. Will they clutch it? Matrix, 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 Matrix. It's a good kill on a BAP. That's really going to be annoying. And cart still stopped. Oh! This rat. Look at this. Look at the laser focus. That's so annoying. What was Hottie doing there? Hottie was ready to hit the rotation. He was looking for a grapple, a slam, all that kind of punish on the rotation. And that's huge. That means easy recontest. Discord, Vistola, clear him off of cart. Please, Sparker. Clear him off of cart. Please, Sparker. Thank you, sir. Thank you, dear sir. Thank you, sir. Oh, no! The wall's messed up. That's just a zoning blizzard to prevent a screw up from happening. Honestly, not even that bad. Allows Backbone to hold the angle. Then the mines punish. Now we walk forward. Sparker. What happens with Sparker? Oh, he runs the wrong way. He runs the wrong way. He should have run back to his team or back on the angle on coast. He needs to go back this way. I think he was maybe scared of Noon. Yeah, he just that's just a mistake. Mines are good. They know the beat is coming though, but they have beat to match. They beat in response to Vistola. Pushing Vistola should die. They get the pulse bomb on Hottie. Vistola should still die. Vistola doesn't die. We need punish. They peel back on Landon. Backbone dies. This is just mechanical goof ups. It's a good pulse. Sparker dies because he messes up. Not enough damage from Landon in the back line to punish that rotation. Yeah. And then they miss the pulse here, and then, yeah, GG's. Yeah, okay. It's just greed. It's just greed is all it is. A lot of it is just like not respecting the your range and not having the angles to punish it. Like look at this only works if like Spark is here, you know, or your Reaper's here as well. You know what I'm saying? And so this is like a really dangerous window here. The Reaper's not a bad swap on this point. Soldier's not a bad swap either. They have no ultimates yet. Hefster goes Tracer because, again, this point.
The payload is approaching its destination.
Guys, grade the setup here. Grade the setup here.
The payload is approaching its destination. The payload is approaching its destination.
Team Red. And actually, Team Blue. Team Blue and Team Red. Team Blue and Team Red. Grade the setup. Do one for both. I want to take my headphones off, bro. My head freaking hurts. I've been wearing headphones so long. What do you guys think? I'll be right back. Yeah, Red has a late setup, in my opinion. I agree. I think Red setup... Hang on. Red setup has potential. Astro's obviously probably needs to be with Backbone because Backbone's the more not the one in spawn. Landon's fine by himself now. I like Hottie and Sparker. Blue setup is lacking. Who is mispositioned on Blue? Who is mispositioned on Blue? See if you guys can figure this one out. I think Ram's okay. Ram can hold center line. Yeah, I think it's the DPS. I think it's the DPS. Masa is tricky because you could say Masa needs to peel, but Masa did allow Ram to get closer. Reform, thank you for the sub, and is then in a position to actually dive backline. So Masa is tricky. It's a little feeder, but yeah. The problem here is this is the, like, with all due respect, the plat level mistake here. That's a joke. Of both DPS stacking on main. This is where you take the angle here and catch Sparker by surprise. Or freeze the ball. Especially if your name is Mei and you have 300 HP. I mean, that's fine and all. But I think, but again, like, look at what happens when your Mei turns around. Look at the opportunities that are going to present themselves. Just watch. Blam, 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 blam. Take angles. You got to take angles. This is the backline of OWLSprayCheck has 3-man stacked so much. Whether it's the Brig, Bap, Cass, now it's the Cass, Mei, Bap. It's not proper. You have to set up ahead of time. The other thing as well, the real danger there as well, is that Sparker could have actually just wrapped this way and set up the pulse bomb. Like, look at what Sparker does to harass, but like, he could have actually come in this way and it would have been terrifying because there's nowhere to stop him. Really nice clutch from London there. Let's enjoy this. Oh! Oh! Oh, well done. But yeah. Much better setup from London there. Much. It's much easier to set up on defense there. You know, you just have your soldier in one window. There's the Zenyatta in the other one. Lucio can play. Honestly, now that there's actually time to set up, I actually don't even think Astro can actually play here. Like, Astro could play here. Maybe the Cass Mei push is a little too scary with beat, but Astro doesn't even necessarily need to be in his backline. You could, this is... Yeah. No. I think he could be playing further forward. You see what I'm saying? Is this gonna be a YouTube video? Potentially, yeah. But I like London's setup here. It's really, really good. The only way to break London's setup here is for SprayCheck to actually do something that they haven't been doing this entire game, which is set up different off angles and set up like creative plays. Like, have your Ram on cart, send your Lucio Cass over here with like a high noon play. right? And try to catch Sparker with his pants down, you know, or Bap with the lamp because of Pulse Bomb or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Or like send your Mei and like harass from here. But I don't think they're going to do it. They haven't done it this entire game. I think they're just going to try to brute force cart. Dang it, man. Dang it. Dang it. I literally, the words exit my mouth. Okay, but, what's the problem? What's the problem? What's the problem? So even when they do it, they don't do it. What's the problem? Right, where's my support? Where's my support? Where's my Lucio? Where's my Bat? You need one of them has to be here. One of them has to be here. Like, who is Moss appealing? Like, your BAP is if you deny the angle here, they have to engage through main. That's not a very scary engage for Ghost. So then immediately Landon throws a clip. Now they do rotate this way, but the problem is, chat, we've just put lipstick on a pig, because look at where we're at again. Look at where we're at again. We started from the bottom and we're still there. Like, you did all that and you just rotated right back to the exact same spot. So now there's actually like zero pressure on this ball tracer at all. And now the entire map is open up, and now the mines are going to be absolutely killer. Oy, ay, ay. What is happening to Astro? Is Astro getting caught in rotation? Oh yeah, he's just getting caught in rotation. He needs to preserve his own life, honestly. Like, and going back to his team is bad. He needs to go deep in the angle and just run this way. It's really, really well done by Vistola though. But yeah, it doesn't matter because like the angles, guys, the angle theory. There's so little angle control. London actually broken out the wazoo with the angle control. It's too late. That's GG's. Should one DPS flank and the other go main? Yeah, you could split it up, yeah. But you gotta marry support and DPS on angles here. Let's see. Surely they figure, maybe they'll try something else. They'll be creative with it.
30 seconds remaining.
One thing to do this in game under pressure, yes, it is, absolutely. That being said, it has been a repeated problem with SprayCheck so far. So this is definitely something that they need to work on. Both Kai and I think Masa as well to an extent, goes to an extent as well. Way more proactivity with setting up these flanks, especially when you're down ult value. No, they've not figured out the meta yet. Let's see. Will they try something different here? Nope. They're gonna run it down. Get caught with beat. Backline split. Suffering. Vistola is in serious trouble because he's getting off-angled. And GG's. And that's it. I mean, you guys remember we did this. We looked at this literally the same fight from the opposite perspective. You guys remember that? They were on the defense and they didn't have the split or the angles. And now that they're attacking, they still don't have the split or the angles. It's a lot harder to do it. Let me put it this way. It's a lot harder to take angles when you're not playing characters like Tracer and so on. But it's also a lot easier to make mistakes if you're playing the dive characters. Like it's you have more mobility, but you have more margin. But it's easier to make errors. Like Hadi can take any angle he wants, but he gets hindered, he dies, or he screws up and he dies. Yes, it's you're Chris. You're too slow. We've been beating on Unter for like the last hour. It's horrific. It's NA Hive Mind. NA Hive Mind has ruined Kevster, Kai, and so on. I bet Masa actually got worse at understanding macro with his time with Atlanta as well. NA Hive Mind is where like talent goes to die. Wait, we did this already. I'm an idiot. Okay. Any questions so far, guys? Again, we're putting a lot of emphasis on London because a little bit of bias there, but yeah. I'm almost at the point now to where I don't even want to know. I don't know if I want to really watch more of these maps. I think I would rather look for something more creative compositionally. Maybe the Bastion would be kind of fun. I think they're just limit testing that though. I really don't like the Bastion's probably gonna feel better just with how Kai's positioning. Like Kai is so hard stacked that the Bastions probably feels better. But I actually don't even know if I want to watch more of this. Like, I actually don't even know if I want to watch this. Like, all they're going to do is they're going to do the NA Hive Mind group up punish dives. Like, that's it. How does Zen survive in this ball comps without a Brigitte? Because Sparker and Hottie freaking headhunting the enemy flankers. That's why. If you can't reach the Zen because you're getting headhunted by the ball tracer 24/7, then yeah, you don't get there. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we look at like one fight here, see if there's anything like really saucy, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to watch Malga Bastion versus Winston on. And the worst part about it is it's actually probably halfway decent because this map is really hard. The Sombra swap is good. Yeah, at least gives you the old economy. Oh man, they're attacking with. Body just freaking dies. They beat. It's not the end of the world though. Recontest maybe. But third point I think is really hard. Whoops. Third point I think is really hard. I also think, man, I guess Lucio's fine. Yeah, Lucio's probably fine, especially with the projectile buff. Good beat. I'm gonna see what Backbone's doing here. Virus. You could honestly EMP this if you wanted to. I guess he thinks he doesn't need to. Yeah, and then EMP's a little late, but that's fine. It should still win the fight. Wait, no, it doesn't. Oh, that's actually tragic. That's so tragic. I think the reason why you EMP this is just because to make sure, because the most important thing right now is maintaining map control. Because if you win this fight, then you can again hit them on the rotation again. If you lose this fight, you go to third point, which is like death zone. You have to win this matchup on second point. Otherwise, third point is just miserable. I think SprayCheck's comp much better on third point. I think. Deep dive, Bastion split. Kai decides now that I'm on Bastion, now's the time to take an angle. Surely, guys. Again, another deep dive. This is the problem with the with London's comp though on this map is that it's so hard to set up angles. You know, they catch Masa. Dude, actually, Lucio is so punishable now. It's Uzi, but like a little bit of a mispositioning, you just freaking die. All right, I'm zooming through this, guys, just because I don't want to spend as much time in this composition. Bit of a troll. Can they kill Masa? Can they kill Masa? Yes, they can. That's actually pretty useful. Just slows things down a little bit. That's unfortunate. Sparker gets lasered. Primal from Hottie is good. That's a huge kill from Hottie, actually. That's actually so good. That's oh, wow, this is insane. Why no Zen? Because you can't really run Zen with Monkey here. And it might be that they think that, like, basically, here's the thing. When they think that their ability to brawl with like a monkey dive is better than the sightlines that the Zen provides, they will run Winston. When they think that the sightlines open up Zen's priority, like basically, here's the question. It's Winston better than Zenyatta. When Zenyatta is better than Winston, you run Kiriko. This is about Zenyatta versus Winston, not Kiriko versus Zenyatta. Because the Kiriko is because it's the support that does better with Winston than Zenyatta. Why Kiri no Ana? Probably because Ana's bad, is my guess. With the support, the DPS passive, and so on. I think you just beat Blade here. Beat Blade, and then you just need to burn the Baptiste. Blah, 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 blah. This is unfortunate. He's trying to save his cardiac overdrive, but I think he oh man, I don't know. Yeah, that's good. He's trying to leverage cart, and that's actually so good from London with the discipline there. At the higher levels, is Ana playable in the full dive? I mean, man, I don't know. Like, it's too early. Could be, yeah. Could be. Bap window, good disengage. Sparker should not be marking card there. Okay, that was scary. Okay, there's the blade. There's the beat. The second beat. Nice. Body. Oh, my days. The window. Oh, my gosh. It's actually not the end of the world, though. It's not the end of the world. Trust. It's not the end of the world. They focus the Baptiste down. They need to kill the Baptiste. They do kill the Baptiste. Yeah, so they still had the angles to make it work. They still have the angles to make it work, so they should still win this. Yeah, they should still win this, right? Right, guys? Right? Yeah, this is just an OT fight. Doesn't really matter who wins. Okay. Yeah, I want to skip this. I don't want to see any more spray check poke comps. It feels like right now, Gunba hasn't had time to cook with these guys because right now it just feels like a lot of mechanical games, but the macro understanding is just not there of how to play this matchup. Midtown. I assume it's going to be more of the same, so we'll zoom through. If I don't see anything saucy, we're not going to stay. No. I don't want to watch this. Don't want to watch this. I don't want to watch this. No. All bad. All bad. Oh, this might be fun. This might be fun. Well, let's maybe we look at this. We look at this. Kiri Lucio. Maybe. Now, your first question I know that everyone's going to ask is, "But Spilo, I thought you said Lucio's OP. Why are they playing Brig?" Well, jackass. You tell me. Why are they playing Brig? Let's start from here. This is a good place to start because that's just when it goes Kiriko. Why are they playing Brig? Pretty clear. Is Kev's doing too much? Nope. No. Do you guys remember my swap video? What do you factor in when you choose a character to play? Yes, exactly, Pantera. Mostly that. Right. This point is actual butt cheeks for Lucio when you're playing into poke. There's no cover here at all. So how on earth are you going to play Lucio here? How? Like, where are you going to play? Like, what angles are you going to hold? What kind of Reddit Lucioing are you going to do here? It's not going to happen. So you're going to play Brigitte. That's it. It's not that deep. That's all it is. Okay. Yeah. Mark. Now, one little detail, guys. One little detail. Where should Astro be? Because remember, if you don't need to stand on your Zenyatta if your Zenyatta is not under any pressure. Enemy spawn. Excellent. Right. Maybe. Corner near ball. Maybe. I think here. Maybe here would be good too. He's not pressurable with Bash and with the Zenyatta Harmony. So if he's here, it's easier to proc Inspire, easier to control space, easier to do damage, easier to pack his DPS, and has better vision, map control, and so on. There's no reason for Astro to be here. In fact, Astro should be ashamed of himself. Shame on you, Astro. No reason to be here. There's not even a beat here. Your Reggie, thank you for the sub. Or your Regi? There's no reason to be here. There's no beat engage. There's nothing. They can't reach him. Landon's not going to get 2v1'd. Who's going to kill Landon? Astro is really arrogant. I freaking hate that guy. Who's going to 2v1 Landon? Kevster finds a way through Astro and Backbone? How? Astro's right here, marking the Tracer with Genji. Not going to happen. If Astro is not here, then Kevster will get Kiriko and Lucio pocket, force Backbone back, then Kevster will find a way. You see it? If you don't preventively control space with Brigitte, then you give the angle for free. And because now Backbone doesn't have as much Inspire support, swing support, whip shot support, Backbone might have to lose his angle. Hadi has to peel back to help. Backbone's too good, though. He hits the shurikens. Look at Vestola. Landon doesn't need Astro's help. It's too far. And again, because Astro wasn't on the angle here, There's not enough punish here. One pack here and Landon's fine. And then if he needs to, he can bash back and pack Landon again. Now that Vestola's on the backline, Astro has to actually be there. But it's the value that was lost early in that fight is criminal. Would Doomfist work in this composition? Yes. I don't know how good it would be, because again, I don't know how good Doomfist is, and I also Hadi's a much better ball than he is a Doomfist, but yes, it would work fine. In theory. I'm also curious to see how SprayCheck sets this up. I'm really not paying attention to SprayCheck macro because I think SprayCheck macro is weak. Wait, we already saw this, but I want to see how they set this up. I want to see way more punish on Sparker and Payload here, I think. Because Landon and Astro are playing so far back. Landon has to. Astro doesn't have to. I think they could be playing a lot more aggressively with their Curie Lucio here. I think Masa, for example, could be like Masa. Yeah, Masa should be assisting Kev right now. I think maybe he's a little gun shy here, which is understandable. And I also don't think Kai being on cart makes any sense. Kai, if anything, should be holding high ground by himself and letting his supports play a little bit more proactively and then taking angles from there. Diva feels better since the projectile buffs, frankly. All right, Landon. Oh, this guy's disgusting. And the beat engage is so far too. It's actually an odd beat engage. Chat, if you're SprayCheck here, how do you beat engage? How do you beat engage? You tell me. You guys tell me. You are the coach of SprayCheck, and you can pause the game right now and tell your players how do you guys gonna beat engage? How are you gonna do it? Go backline? How? Because isn't that what they just tried to do? And it didn't work. Wrap left and beat in. Yep, that's it. You have speed advantage. You could do this rotation here from cover and beat right here. Landon's only option is A, either going to spawn, which then allows you to isolate and kill off the DPS like Sparker, or Landon will rotate out in the open this way, which is even worse, which allows you to cut him off here. It's too far. You need to rotate, push, angles, push. It's just run it down mid. It's the NA hive mind. This is it right here. This is the damage that under-coaching and being in the NA hive mind does to you right there. Look at that. Horrendous. Easily catch that engage. In fact, Backbone should not have even died there. I don't even know how Backbone died there. He just didn't dash out. You just don't run it down mid. Gunba will fix it. Gunba is the IRL equivalent of like I can fix her, you know what I'm saying? But he's like with the NA players, so like no brain, you know? I can fix him. I can fix him. I can fix him. And then you just hear whoopsh, whoopsh, you know, beatings and screams and desk slams. Gunba can fix him. It might take a lobotomy, but Gunba will fix him. This is good from Hadi. Obviously the soldier is the real victim here because like Kiriko could just TP away, but like completely cutting off the soldier at that point in time is perfect. Now chat, who is mispositioned right now again? The one NA Hive Mind player on London is mispositioned. What the frick is Astro doing on the Zenyatta with Transcendence, with Backbone on Ashe on a deeper angle by himself? Daniel! Daniel! You will pay for your crimes! What is wrong with you? No! Why? This is the guy that needs help. He's on the angle, man. Come on. Please. Why is he here? No. Look at this. No inspire. Ah, he dies. Ah, no. Come on. And then he bashes in to peel when he should have had bash to bash out. This is why you need to be there in the first place. So you could disengage with your CD. Oh, man. Double support ult. And then, guys, it's actually so well set up from London as well. I will say Backbone probably would have made more sense to sell his soul like somewhere over here. This angle would have made a little bit more sense. A little bit better sight lane, a little bit better disengage opportunity. But still, like Backbone, there's actually zero chance that Backbone should die there. Hades gets good maximum mine value. Sparker? That's just a little bit of greed. And he's going to die for that, yeah. But that is actually offensive.
Into the iris.
Proactively control your off angles. Then if you get forced out, then you go back to your backline. But even then, you don't stand still. You re-rotate and take a different angle. You don't stand still. I don't want you to relay the message. I want you to do more than that. I want Astro to fear for his life. Wait. What's happening? Oh, Landon is cooking. What is he doing? Bash out, sir. Bash out. Why are you bashing out now? Oh, Astro. You know what Chris needs to tell Astro? If we see too many of these mistakes, you're gonna trade for Masa, and he's gonna have to deal with Gunba.
10 seconds remaining.
That seems like that's how this is gonna go. Okay, yeah, like I said, we didn't want to overanalyze that stuff because I think SprayCheck's execution is like super awkward in the counter dive. Yeah, he bashed it, I think, to pursue Landon calling like a clutch play there. So I'm going to put more of the responsibility on Landon there initially. That's my prediction anyway. All right, TX. Oh, we need to update the codes thing here. Hang on. Is Lucio's in good? In theory. Wait a second. We called a clutch play 100%? Yeah, makes sense. You could tell. Okay, commands, edit, codes. What else did we do? K7... VBXB 652 GWZ. There you go. So codes are updated here. Oh, we'll also, let's actually go ahead and add the Blizzard World one, which we're going to try and look at. Codes. Whoops. Commands. Edit. Codes. And then TXD81Y. Any questions, chat? Obviously, like we pretty much zoomed through that one because there wasn't a lot to see. But I think it was interesting to see the Brigitte stuff and then the Kiriko. I don't want to watch them play this comp. It's literally them trying to find a solution. But I don't think the comp is the problem with SprayCheck. I think it's the execution is bad. If you guys are curious of why the Diva here, it's because the map is way more open and it's really hard to get good dives with Monkey here. So Diva basically plays like a soft dive character, but that can also just contest cart and push cart and so on. So it's good. It's been played since last season a lot. Winston just because it's better in the first dive and then second point immediately transition to Diva. So it's good. It's really good. I don't want to see Bastion. I don't care about Bastion. He goes Doomfist probably as like an anti-Bastion counter potentially. Also, ironically, might even be better ult economy than the Diva. I don't care about any of this. If you guys want to look at this, you're more than welcome to, but we're going to be skipping this because I cannot bear to watch more anti-dive from SprayCheck. Best tank versus Bastion, Sigma. They won't play Sigma because, you know, the composition is more than just playing Sigma. Now, let's actually watch this. I'm curious to see how they lose this first fight so fast. Ball is, they want to play Zen on defense. And so, yeah, Ball. I mean, Bastion might ironically be okay here, but still. I don't like Backbone's positioning here. I think he's too scared of that rotation, but I think he needs to wrap and catch here. I think a hack on Diva here does wonders, right? I think I'm surprised to see Backbone playing so passively on that angle. And then also, oh yeah, this is why. Landon doesn't know how to rotate. Chat, where should Landon rotate? Where should Landon rotate? This is a bad angle from backbone, but the biggest thing here is a poor rotation from Astro. Into them? No. No. Down inside mini room? Yeah. Either here or generally the rotation you have is here, and then you get the rotation to this high ground here, and then you just basically flip the map on them. Yeah. Landon just gets caught in Narnia. And this is fine. Like this is Landon doesn't have a lot of experience. But yeah, that rotation has to be instantaneous. This is the exact same mistake that Landon made on first fight Ilios, where not only does he not rotate, but he gets caught in between rotations. He needs to be instantly, like you cannot, you're either here or you're here. If you're here, you're dead. Just a bad rotation. I think backbone needed to be in a better angle to trade more HP. Landon's rotation was poor. Did Astra speed amp the rotation? I don't know. Yeah, where was the... Yeah, it was there. It was there. Brig's in on Midtown? Brig's in third. This is much more congested. First point is way more congested. Then third point, Midtown. You see this? Like, look at how much more positional opportunities. It's still awkward, but it's good enough. Landon's from A, that's why he's out of position. Yeah, I don't want to watch more of this because it's just going to be more like Ghost being on BAP here is like definitely a tough one. I don't know how good Ghost's other heroes are, but I think BAP is a real weak point here. Assuming that, I mean, London's comp should just completely dismantle this composition on this point here. It should be so hard for them to rotate. They can't push cart easily because Discord and Sombra. This should be a full hold. Yeah, I mean, obviously time-wise, yeah, it's a full hold. Yeah. I honestly don't even want to look at this one as well because I actually think that, like, even if SprayCheck played this one well, if London plays it better, I don't think you can win with Bap Lucio versus Zen Lucio on this point. I think you lose the off-angle wars because Discord and Harmony is better than Bat Pocket. I think you lose the fight on cart because Discord. I think you lose old economy because I think Trance is like the better defensive ultimate here. I think that like it's not even worth looking at the execution because London had high ground, and if they run it, if both teams run it well, Bap Lucio loses that 100% of the time. Land and security is super important, but also we're looking at early disruption being as a good defense as well. Yeah, I agree. No, Suji, my thoughts on that were really simple. I think the early disruption is impossible on that initial rotation, with the exception of where Backbone's position. I think Backbone has been playing a little bit too much to catch when Backbone should be playing more. Like here, for example, you can definitely slam top and all that. Like, it's fine. The Lucio and the lack of Cassidy means that Hadi can do literally almost whatever he wants. But like right here, I think you could even go for a dive and backline with Sombra here. Like, I was thinking maybe you have like a catch angle here, but you could unironically even have an angle here and then just have Backbone instantly TP back to his team with Zen Pocket. They can't chase. Yeah, exactly. Just hit this now. Yeah, you could hit this now. And I think Backbone, to me, Ball Slam and Sombra are the keys to anti-disruption. I think. Heck, there's even a good argument here that you could even have your Sombra just standing here shooting and baiting most of that Diva's aggression. And then if Diva turns away, she hacks. But yeah, anyway. Okay. That's all. That's all. Early and often pressure. Control your sightlines. If you're running Zen, you can't like perma peel. You have to punish early while they're taking space. Now there is like you couldn't really control anything. Oh, we already did this. What is anti-disruption? What did I say? In what context did I say that? Hack and slam. Yeah, hack and slam, Discord, and damage. Yeah. I don't know if I want to watch this. I can't bear to see more of this. I like the Kiriko. It's good. It's a good pick. Maybe we'll see Ball Zen on Sanctum. What DPS would you run in Sanctum, guys? What DPS? Sombra? No. Yeah, would you just run Genji? Maybe you just run Genji. I don't know what DPS you'd run in Sanctum. I actually have no idea. Same thing here. Probably, just Kiri Lucio. Oh, they run on Sanctum too. Ooh, cool. Okay, yeah, makes sense. Wait, what are you saying, Quibsy? What does Lucio do in this comp for Spitfire? Aggressively control space and peel when necessary. If Zen is not under direct threat from the enemy backline, you duel their tracer, you duel their backline, you do orb things. Orb things, I say. You read it. Marking angles, rotating Zen, engaging dives, yeah. What does Genji do in the comp? Same thing. Dive backline, control space. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think SprayCheck has their work cut out for them when it comes to like controlling space and angles and creativity with their DPS. I think like we were kind of teasing London for their macro on Ilios, but it looked shaky there, honestly, Suji. Your setup stuff, but honestly, like on all the other maps, you guys I think just had a better understanding of like controlling space and angles, and it felt like SprayCheck just looked like London Spitfire early season 2022, like where you don't like you're trying to force like more of a brawl pokier style and don't really know how to like be creative in controlling space with it, and so just kind of grouping up and dying to ults. So well played. Well played. You guys definitely, I think, had a better understanding of how to play the matchups for sure. Very, 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 and it's ironic because the NA like these are EU players, right? Like you know Hottie and stuff like, and they're playing dive. In my opinion, better. How do you choose what other DPS you run with ball tracers in Lucio? Just basically like DPS that are pretty hyper mobile, because the one weakness of Zenyatta is that he is vulnerable to dive. So you run DPS that are able to take the flanks that dive characters would use and fight them for it. Okay, let's snoop around and see if there's anything fun from the YNVXK5. Let's see if there's anything fun from, wait, did I get it wrong? Maybe it's an S. From the Ben Best Scrim. BK. Who is better, NA or EU at dive? I have no idea. No idea. Wait, did I do it again? YNVKX. Is that a 5? Did I put S, guys? Okay, I messed up. I did S twice in a row. I'm looking for Dive Mirror. Hey, we did it, guys! It's Dive Mirror! Let's go! Yes, let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Ah, yes! And Akiri versus Zen. Wait, they? I don't think they play in Control Center. Would they? They might. No, they don't. Oh, they kind of do. Yes! Yes! Okay, what you guys all are here for? No more foolishness. Okay. All right, we're back. We're so back, guys. All right, listen. I'm gonna pull up Microsoft Paint again. All right, hold tight. Grasp your gluteuses firmly. Let's do this. So this is how dive works, okay? This guy is the king or the queen. This is a very rudimentary way of looking at dive, but we'll just start with this one, all right? King and queen. Everyone wants to kill on the king and queen. So they go, and they run it right down at the king or the queen, right? All right? The problem is while you're running it down, the king and the queen is too far away, and the king and the queen has pawns. And while you're running at the king or the queen, those pawns are beating the crap at you from both sides all along. So everyone's like, well, frick, what do we do? What do we do? Hang on, guys, I've got a strategy. What if we have a bunch of our own pawns and run it down mid? That'll work, guys. No, that's NA hive mind. Doesn't work. It's called cheating. Doesn't work. So what ends up happening is they go, all right, guys, well, wait, I have an idea. What if we take our pawns? What if we take our pawns and we, with our king and queen support, fight their pawns? You guys got me? And if we win the pawn trade here, then these pawns have to back up. And when they back up, we have now a new straight path and a shorter path to get to the king and queen. And we don't get beat up as much while we're doing it. And the same thing happens with the other side too. You can choose whatever one. And even better if you're like super sexy and you can beat both sides. Like maybe you're super good and you're like, oh yeah, we beat both sides of their pawns. They don't have any on us. And now we have a pincer approach. Yeah. This is how dive works. This is dive. This is dive. This is dive. Now, what dive usually ends up being is the ultimate goal is to kill the king or the queen, right? But you guys have played chess, right? Is the game usually won or lost by killing the king or the queen? Well, technically, yes, but usually the game is lost trying to get killing the king and the queen. And by the time the checkmate, the game might have been really technically over 4, 5, 6, 7, 12, 15 turns ago. It was just a matter of time. It was just a matter of time. Like, we win the angle trade here. You're screwed. It's almost over. So what ends up happening is a lot of time in dive, the end goal is to kill the Zen or the honor and so on. But it's the duels over here that are really sweaty and really hard. The backline supporting the front line or the angles and people fighting for different angles and off space and doing more damage and so on. And if these guys get these positions, like let's say blue wins this angle here, or red, let's say, wins this angle here, they do more damage and they just win. Maybe one of these guys dies. Maybe they have to give up point. Maybe they have to give up space. Maybe they have to use an ultimate or they use more cooldowns. And so everybody from blue has to back up. It's just shuffling for space and positioning is what it is. And now I want to blow your mind because check this out. When you're playing something like a Kiriko mirror on dive, you ready for this one? Guys, there is no king or queen. There is no end goal. All it is who can take better positions on the map. That's it. Because you got to think about it this way. Let me give you guys, if I have my tracer on a really, really OP flank, my tracer will do more damage to your monkey than your tracer will do to my monkey because my position is better. So then I need to be like, guys, we need to clear out this tracer. We need to fight this tracer. And then this is where dive starts to happen, where people are fighting for good positions. You know what I'm saying? And so all dive is just fighting and shuffling for angles and positions, whether that's high grounds or off angles or good corners and so on. And all in the back, if you're playing as Zen, you have a king or a queen that is trying to help. And that's why if you guys go back to like the Funnyastro thing, you remember when we were freaking out over Funnyastro being stacked with his Zen? When these fights are happening, you cannot have one of your pawns go back and sit with your king and queen. Why? Because that pawn needs to be helping control these pawns. Because if you're fighting at a disadvantage over here, if you take one of your pawns here and you move that pawn back to helping your backline, let's move that brig over here too early when he doesn't need the help. Guess what? Guess what guaranteed trader about to happen? Guaranteed going to lose this right here. This guy's going to have to disengage. And when he disengages, these guys walk forward. And now, even though your Brig or Lucio or whatever is in a better position to peel, they're in a significantly better position to dive. And it's almost always worse. So it's about finding the balance about when do we have to peel back and group up versus when can we prevent us from being put in the hole. And now this is the crazy part, all right? I want you guys to hold on to your butt cheeks. This is going to be even bigger than the king and queen removing yourselves. You guys ready for this? So this is how dive is played. Here's a question, guys. How is spam played or brawl played? How are Ryan comps played generally? Or Sigma comps played or hybrid comps, like which most of the comps in ranked are hybrid comps? Chris knows. Angles, yes. It's the same thing. Every comp is dive in some way, shape, or form. The difference is that dive compositions have more choices and more options with which positions to take, so positioning matters more. Now you might be asking then how are these brawl comps just 3-2-1 running it down main? It's because you don't have to all the time. Especially in Overwatch 1, you didn't have to. You had an off tank that could control the angles where you didn't have to. You could just cheat 3-2-1 team play, right? 3-2-1 team play, 3-2-1 timing, everyone group up, good cooldown trades. And the other thing about brawl comps as well, Ram comps, Ryan comps, Mei comps, Moira comps, and so on, is that it's not necessarily always a full commit. It's a force some CDs in and out, in and out. In fact, the signature of a good brawl comp is the cycle of cooldowns. Is like you might push in with your pawns, but you're not really pushing in to kill. You're just pushing in to force CDs. You reset, hold your position, and you push in again afterwards. So good brawl execution is good push and pull as well, and really dive as well. But Overwatch is just a game of controlling space, timing, and layering. That's it. But you could just do a Dallas, exactly. So when you look at this dive mirror, now all you have to do is envision the pawns. When you look at this right, you need to ask yourself, if everybody stands still, who will win this fight? Whose Zenyatta has the better position for spam? Whose Echo has the better angle for spam? Whose Tracer's in a better position to poke? Fight for those positions, and then when you see opportunities to cash in on the king and queen, you do it. And that's why you see these Lucios splitting sometimes, right? Now you ask yourself, why is FD God? Why is FD God playing with Crook? Why? Think about it. Why? Why is FD God not helping Tracer control an off angle and flank? King is vulnerable, right? This is scary. King is taking a risk. You need to support the king. Right, exactly. Booping ball, all that kind of stuff. And you could see London sees it, right? Hey, we can hit these guys in rotations, and that's exactly what happens. It's just a bad rotation from Crook. It needed to be done instantly. If you're going to rotate the point, you can't waste time. You got to go. Now, why did Landon die, chat? Why did Landon die? I want you guys to look at the red. Look at the red. Look at the red. Not just caught in the open, but look at the red. Watch the red. Watch the red circles. Watch the red circles. Watch the red circles. Do you see it? Do you see it? Do you see it? So, if you're coaching Landon here, or London, what do you do here? You punish the rotation. Nice job. What do you do now? What do you do now? Depriest, yes, it enables more cheating. It's still important, but it enables more cheating. Yes. Who's the push right now? Take your powerful position. Find your position where you're going to have the biggest sightlines. This is too close. This is too ugly. Even if there was nobody here, this is too ugly. You need to go here. Rotate back main. Mark the ball. Rotate here. Control the Lucio. Rotate here. Mark the Tracer, and so on. Push. No. Even with the ball, even without the ball boop there. Instant death. Now they're up one. And angle and Backbone has an angle on the angle, so it ends up not mattering. But that's why that fight felt as badly as it did. May OTP, by the way.
Perfectly executed close combat.
Okay. I want you guys to grade the setup. Grade the setup here. Yeah, shut up, Landon. Shut up, Landon. This guy's got 14 deaths per 10 and has the audacity to talk in my Twitch chat. Okay, grade the setup, y'all. Grade the setup for London. Grade the setup for London. Stay deadly indeed. That's right. Give me an A. Give me an A, B, C, D. What do you guys think? Come on, give me a grade. I want a grade. I want a letter. This is the American school system. We don't care how smart you are. We want your number on the quiz. All right, A minus, B, C, A. Okay, I'm gonna give this a C. No, I'm gonna give this a B. I'm gonna give this a B. I'll give this a B, B plus maybe. Who's mispositioned for London? Who's mispositioned for London? Funnyastro. Yes, Funnyastro is mispositioned. Congratulations. Funnyastro is mispositioned. Funnyastro is mispositioned. You could also argue that Backbone, but I think Backbone is okay. He can also mark the Tracer from his position, and he can also, if the Tracer's cleared, he can rotate. I think Backbone's okay for now. I actually think Backbone's okay. But Funnyastro is doing. What is Funnyastro's mistake, guys? Where should Funnyastro be? Where should Funnyastro be? Yes. Yes, with Tracer on the left. You have vision right now that Ball is setting up on the left side. You have pings, or you should have pings from your team, from Sparker, that you do not need to worry about Tracer when she's this far away. If Landon dies to Tracer here, he gets kicked from the team, okay? I'll speak on Chris's behalf, all right? That's a misposition from Landon. He also has the ability to rotate back this way, all right? While he also has his Echo marking that angle too. This is the preventative work that Astro needs to put in to stop Ball from diving your Zen. And if Sparker doesn't get Lucio help here, Sparker's going to get forced out, and then maybe Ben Best is able to set up the dive. Yeah, this is probably the best spot in terms of cover here. Right? You see it? Do you see it? You see it? Where's the follow-up? Where's the follow-up? Landon's by himself, right? He should die, right? He did. But why did it take so long? Where did Ben Best come from? Right down the middle. Where did Tracer come from? Had used all three of her blinks. Instant recall out. Where was Echo's angle? Marked by Backbone. And meanwhile, they're on the angles. They trade backlands. Easy. In fact, there it is. Easy. Yeah, they had to cheat. They had to cheat. Sparker was doing a great job. Guys, give Sparker the freaking crown. Sparker is absolutely manhandling this team right now. Let's just enjoy this. Enjoy this. Better pawn value with Zenyatta Orb here. Look at this. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, bam, bam. Doesn't even have to use his recall. Gets Orb. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. No angle for you. No angle for you. Pressure, 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 pressure. Okay, Ball rolls away. You don't want to contest me? You don't want to contest me? You're cooked. Notice that. He had all of his resources. Did not have to use any blinks to chase Zenyatta. He was just right there. Fuzzbiz, thanks for the gifted sub, mate. I appreciate that. And really, you also should give Backbone a little bit of credit too. I think. Let me see. He's looking for Ball here, I think. Okay, no, don't give Backbone any credit. But no, but really this was fine too. It's great Tracer play. That is why Zenyatta does not just immediately die in this composition. That is why, right there. You see that? That's why Zenyatta doesn't just immediately die. Everyone's like, well, how does it not just die to Ball Tracer? Because it's Zenyatta with a Discord Orb on the ball and a Tracer controlling the flank does not let the ball stage. He has to run it down main, which is inconvenient, difficult, and easy to avoid. Even Backbone credit is outrageous. Yes, Astro! Yes! Look at him, guys! He's evolving! Now, he needs to be careful. That's the only thing is here is with the new changes, it is really easy to kill Lucio with Tracer here. So he needs to be really cautious. Like, I would not be actively peeking this, especially without my Tracer. You need to be careful. But yes. Now, the question is, chat, I'm actually curious why they backed this up. I think they brute forced it a little bit. This is a good setup from Red. I think Red is doing a good job here. Red is doing a good job. It does cost Binbest a lot of HP, but Red does a good job. Do you notice how they actually approach this? Watch how Red adjusts. Watch this. Watch how they adjust. So they actually send the ball tracer Lucio ahead, and they pre-mark out the enemy tracer. So then Crook doesn't have to worry, and then Crook has the off angle, right? And as long as Hadi doesn't find him immediately, then we're good to go. Better for Lucio to trade the enemy backline or peel the enemy's in. With Lucio, the answer is always what's more convenient. Thanks, mate. I appreciate it. What's more convenient? Because Lucio's too slow to go backwards or forwards, ironically. So if you're already on the backline, kill backline. If you're already near your backline, peel backline. Yeah, so this was good from Red. This was good. We got to give credit where credit is due. This was nice. Now, Landon is cooking here. One of the fun things with Zenyatta is being unpredictable. If you can change your king's position, it makes it very difficult for the enemy team to know what angles they need to take to get to your king. It does open yourself up to being pushed if you're too close. But if you can catch the enemy team by surprise, then it creates opportunities. Oh, double bloop. Backline trade, unfortunate.
Adaptive circuits engaged.
Ooh, let's Sparker, let's go. Ah!
Duplicating Lucy. Adaptive circuits engaged.
Can you live? Ah, no, he can't. Where did Hadi's mines go?
Circuits engaged. Adaptive circuits engaged.
Oh. Okay, they're fine. I didn't even hear him for some reason. Oh my gosh! This guy is almost as good as me and Zen. That's a little bit of an experience. You should always react with Blink when caught up by off guard. You should never try to track. Good. Trance is opening up so many playmaking opportunities here. He doesn't quite get the Discord off, but that's totally fine. Rotation. Notice he creates distance so that he doesn't have to worry. And then that was good. This is good. This is not bad, guys. This is all right. I freaking love this stuff. It's so much fun to watch. All right, let's go back a little bit. Any questions so far? A little bit of all of them. A little bit of all of them, Lexa. This, when you look at it like a chess match, you have to think of it as like chess, but with a 2-second move timer, essentially. So much of it has to be instinctual. And that's why NA fails to play dive. Because it's not just that the macro that they don't understand, although that's kind of the joke. The problem is that they're just not as good on the characters as well. So that they have to spend not only time thinking about the macro, but then they also have to think about, oh, I'm playing Sombra or Winston, and I'm not as good at those characters. And so I can't just turn my brain off and focus on the macro while I just play the character. You know, you have to do both at the same time. And that's why a lot of teams fail. Like when London learned how to play the Brawl comp versus the Dive comp in 2022, and even like the Symmetra stuff in 2023, they didn't have to learn how to play Mei or Ryan or Bap or Lucio. They just learned how that composition worked. And so that's one step, not 2 steps. Okay, can they make the rotation with TP? Maybe. Early pressure on Monkey. Good. Landon's going to try to rotate to point. That's also really good if he can make that rotation. Bridge is not somewhere you want to be permanently. Backlund gets caught with his pants down here. Uses his shift maybe a little bit too aggressively here. Yeah, he just ends. Yeah. I actually wouldn't mind Sombra here as well. Sombra Tracer. You get back very quick. Strong old economy. Good pre-punish on the Monkey. It's just an overextension. Oh, this is actually pretty funny. You guys want to see something funny here? I just saw this. Womp womp. And there's a new kill feed. I don't know if that's new or not, or if I've just never seen that before. Maintaining distance. W Landon. I can't believe it just said W somebody unironically. The Zoomer brain rot. Landon's carrying this fight. Really, really nice rotation. Maintaining distance. This fight should have been lost 6 years ago. And it's the fact that it's even remotely winnable is totally on Landon. Yeah, they just, too many people died. I mean, I guess we could go back and find out what's going wrong after. Like, what, for example, what happens to Astro here? He just goes in too early, I think. I think this would have been fine to just kind of chill. Walk Landon forward, walk forward. Astro's just not matching his team's timing here. This has been an issue with, it was an issue with Landon on Ilios, you guys remember? Hey, Neo. Thank you, Sugar Lips. I appreciate it. 70 months. Cheers. That's almost 6 years. That's insane. This is just too early. The play itself is fine, but Landon's not even peaking yet. And by the way, this is when timing is like the most difficult. Like the most difficult. It's the mid-fight stuff that's like actually misery. Like actually misery. It's so hard to get this timing right, like mid-fight. But yeah. Former glads so expected. Yes, former glads. You can take the player out of the glads, but you can't take the glads out of the player. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I look at it. That's pretty much all there is to it. Because that one hurts. Like, this is such a one fight, you know? And then at this point, Hottie goes for backline. I don't know if it's well set up. It's fine. That's a good hack. He has his... Yeah, I mean, there's just not enough pressure from the team at that point in time. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Neo, you have this. You have the record for the subs streak, right? Much to Lightwave's chagrin. So I like so this is okay. So I want you guys to think for just a brief second. Let's not forget the chess analogy here. Who has superior positioning right now? And why? Why? Red team? Choke control. Okay. Blue, both flanks. Hottie, blue flank. It's tricky, isn't it? Point control matters. Let's just ignore the point for just a brief second. Let me ask you a question. How much damage is Backbone going to do from this position with Harmony Orb? Backbone. Right? I think this is the kind of position where somebody on red is going to have to do something. They're going to have to do something to Backbone. They're going to have to push him. They're going to have to commit a disproportionate amount of resources. And what is Backbone going to do? What is Backbone going to do? He's going to press one cooldown with Harmony Orb, and he's fine. Meanwhile, Hottie's pressuring from the angle. Sparker's pressuring on the Winston. And you notice that Landon's not even playing on main. Landon's actually putting his attention on helping Backboing, controlling his angle. At this point, I'm just gonna roll with it. So if I'm actually surprised here. Let me see here. Yeah. Keep it up, Chief. I would have kept that up. Why does Sparker die? Oh. And with Astro to pocket as well. That's just a mechanical mistake. This is a really good setup from Lennon. Because Hottie's got time now to actually go in. This is a good setup. That's just bad execution. Yeah, he got ruled. That was good. It was a good setup from London. Will they clutch this out? Well, that's always a tricky thing, right? Guys, we're up one. Let's push. They push, and then look what happens behind. Oh, Hottie! Nice, they catch. Huge. They won. Oh, FD God. Oh, unreal. Yeah, they walked into the angles, guys. They killed the pawn and then said, let's get the king. But then they died to the other pawns that were still alive. Do you see that? Do you see that? They even committed EMP in Kitsune, and London didn't use anything. But because they killed only one pawn and didn't actually mark or fight the other pawns while they were pushing, they died. Dun, dun. Poor Astro is getting bullied. They're going to try and Ajax him. Can they Ajax him? Oh my goodness gracious. Benjamin! Benjamin! Get it, Benjamin! Oh, Daniel gets it. Daniel diff, honestly. And now, because you have the superior positioning, all you need to do is make sure that they don't take your pawns back. Your Echo is better position, your Tracer is better position, and so on. Welcome back, Stefano. You see, with the positions that Red has, they cannot dive. They cannot dive. It's impossible. Chat, why is Astro standing on Landon? That's a good theory, Niels. I think that's a good theory. Why is Astro staying on Landon? Didn't we just freak out at Astro staying on Landon unnecessarily? Peel off Pulse. Pulse Bomb's not a risk here. It's too far. Winston's too far away. Lucio's too far away. Kiriko's too far away. Sombra. It's Sombra. Sombra breaks the angle theory this much because you can't consistently mark Sombra. That's why Sombra is OP. You know, I'm OP. I'm kind of being facetious here, but yeah. That's why she's good. She just cheats the angles, right? So what you do is you play with your Zen until you know where Sombra is, and then you go press forward. But Sparker needs to know that, hey, I don't have Lucio help. We don't know where Sombra is. Okay, maybe Sparker's just feeding. That's new patch moment right there. They hit early, great early dive. As soon as they walk into Zenyatta sightlines, just a little bit, and Landon is smoking the dank Kush. Look at the sightline here. I mean, this is just impossible. They can't even dive him. It's too far away. Look at this. Questionable. Use football ones instead. It's zone defense is what it is. I mean, really, a lot of games in sports utilize the same principle of like map control and so on. Zone control. Very, very common. I don't know. I don't love the proactivity by being frontline to force trance. I like swinging on a super aggressive angles and using trance that way. That's what I like. You know what I'm saying? I don't like being closer. I like being wider. Wait. Oh, we got booped. Oh, Hottie, wow. Yeah. I love the Zen in this comp. If you can get the space for it, I think the Zen's freaking amazing. And I think the way London are playing is pretty darn good. Landon has played really nicely this map, I think. London playing cover 2, pretty much, yeah. Yeah, it's just cover 2, control of space. So what are the reasons for Sombra to stack versus taking a deeper angle? So let me put it this way. That's a great question. If you are Zodia, if you're a Sombra and you see this, let's actually go back a little bit further. I think this is not a good fight. Let's go back. Why is it not going back? Hello? If you see this as Sombra with Astro and Hottie, who's naked? 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 Not me, I'm wearing pants. Echo, Tracer. You see it? They're putting their resources into marking you here, so then you take a different angle elsewhere. Right. And sure enough, right? So when the threat of Sombra forces an enemy response that makes the backline unkillable, shoot something else. Maybe Orb, I'm not sure. Does that make sense? So you need to look at the setup. Look at the respect. Sombra's pretty flexible. Sombra, at least in these dive comps, can shoot a lot of targets. But if you don't go for backline when you should, then Funnyastro is going to start disrespecting you, and he's not going to ever play with Landon. And if Funnyastro is playing aggressively and never playing with Landon, your team's going to be operating at a disadvantage. Okay, Brawl versus Dive. I actually really like what London's rolling out on versus the Brawl comp. Is it best on this map? I have no idea, but this is probably the best variation of anti-Brawl Dive that you're going to be able to run in this map in this current meta would be my guess. Your old economy is decent. Mines, Pulse, Copy, Beat, Trance, pretty solid. You have Discord, you have Echo, you have Tracer, you have a DPS Lucio, essentially. Yeah. The rotation to coast to maintain distance. The angles from your Echo and Ball. And really, Ben Best comp, they need to find a way to try and rotate or mark. They can either mark the flankers by like keeping, like walling off the Zen sight lines, Mei chasing Tracer. I have more faith in Naga with the Mei play than I did with some of the Kevster Kai stuff, at least from a macro level. Do you see it, chat? This is closer of what I want in terms of setup. Do you see it? I mean, seriously, look at this. This is what SprayCheck was missing. Now it's not perfectly set up, right? Like obviously FD God goes here and Zen's gone, which kind of sucks. It doesn't matter. Astro is still going to die. But yeah, Naga's out there controlling the ball. Cassidy and Bap are split and marking the Tracer. Ryan's forcing point. Right. It's good. This is good. You know, this is why you guys want to know like why great players sometimes struggle. It's because sometimes great players don't always play exactly these. This is good. This is great. This is a pretty solid setup. And this is also a good rotation from Landon as well, because I'm trying to see what sparks this rotation. Yeah, he sees Lucio Mei. You guys see that? He sees Lucio Mei rotating to close the distance. Those heroes are better up close. He is better further away. He rotates away. He works with his Tracer, and then there you go. This is good. This is really nice. In fact, I think the only like really major mistake here, is Hottie doesn't quite get the slam he likes. And then Sparker doesn't quite get the angle he likes. And I also think Backbone should honestly consider rotating away from this angle maybe at this point in time. I think maybe even rotating over to where Zen here. This is good. Like Team Red, I don't remember the team name. I know this is like Peps, right? Is this still Peps? I'm not sure. But they're making this really hard. They're making this really hard. Hottie's trying to stall point. Backbone is able to get really nothing done here. It's Peps? Okay. This is good. I got to give credit where credit is due. It's not only is the mechanical stuff here, and FD God's just flying off the handles here. This is really well played. The creativity in the setup there was exactly what SprayCheck was missing. And FD God. Oh, what a boot from Hottie. That's actually insane. A little bit of an awkward setup. They're just kind of like 3-2-1 cheat it, and it works because they get a good, nice Hottie boop there, but that was good. Even when they push there, you notice Hottie comes in from behind, so it was good. Landon's caught in rotation. Astro's caught in rotation. They might die. Yeah, they don't get the angles they want. That's unfortunate. That was a huge BAP window. But the good news is that at the same time, while the backline is mispositioned, because everyone's so centered on backline, Look at what's happening in spawn. Look what's happening from behind with Backbone and Sparker. Then Best probably dies here. Ooh. Yeah, there's the lamp. Yeah, and they have to disengage. They lose the off angles. Did you see that? Isn't that weird? They actually use Bap Window. They kill the Zenyatta for free. But because they expend so many resources reaching the king, that they actually die to the pawns. And they actually have to disengage, even though they got a kill. And then yet another Sparker Tracer death. I think the big thing with a lot of these Tracer deaths is just not quite expecting like the people to hit the shots that they're hitting. You know, I think that's been happening a lot. And this is still stallable. I wouldn't say winnable, but stallable because... Okay, no, they just give up. Oh, Backbone, huge. And he gets the Bap cocky because they've been able to maintain angles. Huge. Huge play by Naga. Really, all this is just chaos, right? Both teams taking angles, making plays, setting up flanks, and so on. And this is where like the red team can definitely pop off, because I think when you have characters like Cass, Mei, and Bap with weapons that are, you know, consistent damage, there's ways of blasting people. Peps cheated and got punished. I wouldn't even say that it was a cheat. It was a good wall, and you had a Bap window behind it. Landon kicked the Rhine back. I don't know if Ben Best had fire strikes or what. But yeah. Yeah, Chaos 100% screws over Dive. Like, if you're able to just chaotically control off angles, and the Chaos is exactly what like SprayCheck was missing, right? There was almost no chaos. At no point in time were SprayCheck hard to read or unpredictable with how they rotated or controlled space. I don't know how good those guys are mechanically. Probably much better than a lot of the Peps players. But the setup was like really bad. Nice setup from Hottie. Wow, what a boop. Look at the pincer approach here. And again, chat, why is Astro not with Landon? I'll ask this one more time, I promise. Why is Astro not with Landon? I know we're focusing on Lucio, but I want you guys to apply this to any support. There is no threat. There's no threat. They're too far away. There's no Symmetra TP. There's the Lucio FD God's right there. There's no Tracer on the flank. If there was, that Tracer would be marked. Nothing. Pawn should be controlling other pawns, right? Exactly. And guess what? He's helping Sparker. It's good. Good. More angles. More angles. More angles. In fact, this is actually where I think it might be the old economy, but really Peps of creativity like starts to diminish a little bit there. I think they went into that fight, and I think they should have caused more chaos. I think this is where, if you're Peps here, I think that this is where you needed to start. You rush your Rhine to point. You throw your cast maybe with a Lucio and try to clear out Landon here. I think that's an opportunity there. Or maybe with your Mei, do the exact same thing, but do it from the opposite side. You got to cause a little bit more chaos here. And this is where I think Peps played it the most basic, and also where they used Pulse Bomb and they lost. That's all they used. You know? It was a good setup from London, but they don't really make London sweat that fight, and so then they just lose instantly. Yep. Even this, like, this is obviously cheeky, but this is how you use trance, guys. You don't front line, you sideline in something that's absolutely brain dead, and you do it with a DPS. This is a great setup from London. I love this setup so much. An early fight. Trance is used. He was going to use trance there. And they maintain the angles too. That's just Landon not trancing. That's all it is. It's good. Great play. Great play setup. I really feel like a lot of these deaths are just people not getting... Uh-oh. Oh no, Benjamin. Benjamin. Good time, Mr. President. I think this is just a lot of deaths are just people just not quite adjusting, and then I think this should be it. Yeah. And then notice that even then, there's still off angles. Look at the off angles. That's it. Well played, guys. I mean, London are adapting. London are evolving. I mean, obviously, like this opposition isn't like S tier stuff, like land stuff. You know what I'm saying? This isn't like a Korean super team by any means, but this is good. This is a good first step, I think. You know, for these guys, it looks good. And I think the crucial thing here too, as well, is this stuff carries over so much. Like being able to practice this comp versus like EU teams that aren't quite as good is probably like a really good. Not to be like, I'm not trying to be condescending here, but like it's a good educational moment for these guys, you know? people like actually flex their dive wings without getting curb stomped by like people that only one-trick Winston for like 6 years. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's good. This has been good. This has been good. I'm obviously biased here, but this has been like pretty one-sided in terms of how this has performed. Like this has been really clean. Not perfectly clean by any means, but yeah, it's been pretty good. Curb stomped by Atlanta in scrims. Yeah, these are all pretty one-sided. The question is just going to be, is this going to remain meta? And how are their skill levels at the dive going to scale? Like Landon's still making a lot of mistakes. Sparker's a lot of unnecessary deaths. Backbone still trying to find out some of the off angles. I think, trying to find out like what DPS do we want to run with this. Obviously, Hottie, Hottie is a good ball, but like there could always be better. I think Astro as well is trying to figure out like, especially on really both Lucio and Brig, but like trying to find out his positioning about where he needs to be. Is really important as well. But I think like the ceiling here is good too. And I think for spray check, again, if you're like a spray check guy, like Gunba's, I think from what we know, like one of the best strategic coaches out there, maybe the best Western strategic coach, from what little we can see from the outside. So, it's not like, I think their execution was really bad, but it's so early, it remains to be seen. I know this isn't spray check. This is Peps, but we only watch one match of Peps, so I don't want to like speak too much about Peps. Although Peps had their moments too. Like Peps early on in this round looked really good on the Brawl anti-dive stuff. I think at times on Lijiang Night Bucket, their setup looked pretty good as well. There was some creativity there. Gunva versus Gordon Ramsay. It's kind of about the Hitler guy. Well, if you guys want, we could maybe look at like one more map. But I think we're gonna set the bar pretty high for like what we're gonna want to look at. Like we've seen a lot of stuff already, so it's gonna have to be pretty juicy. It's gonna have to be pretty fun, either a fun map or a really fun composition. Because I feel like we've checked a lot of the boxes of what we're looking at here. So can we get another map of dive? Yeah, let's see if we can find another map of dive here. We'll see. Colosseo. Let's just quickly run through all the codes. And just see what they play. I'm just out of curiosity, because I think it'd be I haven't seen any of these, so I'm just curious. This is Kiri versus Kiri. Kiri versus Kiri, but with Queen, which is cool. Obviously the Queen, and then the Reaper. Ooh. And then they swap dive. And then they go Zen later. We could look at this if you guys want to. Sparker popping off. Maybe. Let's just keep going. We can always backtrack. KJJ DX5.
Attackers incoming. Defend objective.
They start with Zenyatta Soldier. It's a cool comp. Kiri, Lucio, Zen. Still holding. Oh, this one looks like a bit of a one-sider. Do they full hold? Yeah, they full hold and they re-push back in. Wait, no way. Ow. Oh. They over-push the king and queen there. Okay, so they full hold there. And then 99 MK BK. What? Must have done it wrong. 99. What is that? Did I do it wrong, chat? 99 MK BK? Or did we? I just must have typed it wrong. Have you seen any Doom? A little bit when the spray check was playing Bastion. Oh boy, are they steamrolling this one? This is the Kiri Lucio Sombra Tracer. Backbone goes Reaper. Do they get full held here or do they just steamroll? No, they steamroll. We could look at this one too. This one might be fun to watch. This is why I wanted to go through this here. I'll do a poll. I'll do a poll at the end. I'll do a poll at the end once we take a quick zoom through all the codes and you guys can choose the map. PH, G, M3T. How about Pharah? Yeah, Backbone played a little bit of Pharah, I think, on, was it Samoa? Bapzen. Oh, the Kiri Lucio has to be pretty tough here, I'd imagine. Looks like they do cap, though. Yeah, they do cap. Coasting off of old economy here. They actually mirror on the attack. Fascinating. And then I think they hold. Yeah, they hold. Okay. All right. Samoa we've already seen, so it should be in our thingies down here. Let's zoom through this way. I'm doing a video on the Pharah rework like I did this summer. Planning on it. Trying to get my reps in. I might play a little Pharah after we finish up this. Soldier Tracer, Pharah Tracer. Zen Lucio. This is more of a raw dive mirror. More of a raw dive mirror. Samoa is. Passage. Wait, no. Oh, it's a 3. It's a 3. It's a really low res screenshot. KA3AJ.
Attackers incoming. Defend objective.
Zen attack. I don't think Backbone stays Hanzo. Okay, they go Reaper. Cap. Zen Lucio. Do they cap? Ooh, they're having a hard time, guys. Sombra Tracer, Zen Lucio, Soldier. Looks like to be a full hold here. Yeah, full hold. Hottie's the supplier. BT9, J9Y. I don't know. Maybe I already have this one. Wait, no. BT9, J9Y. Sorry. J9Y. Back in the Brawl, baby. Ram. Looks like they're limit testing some Brawl. I think they probably just wanted to experiment more. And then Zen Lucio from... Oof. It's like a little bit of struggle for Peps. Looks like a 5-0. Yeah, 5-0. What do you guys want? Let's set up a poll real fast. Let's do a poll. I can't do all the maps. So which map? Let's do Colosseo. I think King's Row might be interesting to watch because of the composite. I don't want to do Circuit. Samoa, Hollywood, New Junk City, and we'll throw Colosseo on there. Okay, poll is started. Take your vote. We got a lot of dive mirror, some different stuff. Which one do you guys want to watch? It looks like it's gonna be in King's Row, yeah, which is cool for me. I'm glad to see it. It'll be cool to see how they full held. You know, I think one of the tragedies let's actually take a quick second to talk about this because we've been beating on the NA hive mind for a while just because it's funny. But let's actually talk about the NA hive mind because I think there's a really, really important thing to learn from that. NA hive mind is an insanely powerful skill, and it's very important. And in fact, not having it is a very bad thing. Let me explain. When we talk about the pawn and the control and controlling space and controlling map, if you overthink things and slow things down and you go to the two opposite extreme, right? It's very easy to lose the synergy and timing. Because if you think about it, when you're controlling your pawns and pushing and taking engages, the most important thing is synchronizing your pressure. You guys have heard, if you, Spilo, VOD reviewer, watched any of my stuff before, guides, whatever, you know that timing and map control, timing and angles, it's everything. Timing and angles. You cannot have one without the other. And that's important because if you put too much emphasis on your angles without like having good team play and timing and synchronize your pressure, you can have quote unquote good strategy with bad timing. And NA hive mind, Dallas Fuel is NA hive mind done right? Yes. Although I'd say Dallas Fuel is generally pretty good at angles as well. But yes, very strong push, pull, in, out, following the call. Everybody's in and out. You can get away with a lot. You can get away with a lot. The reason I call it NA hive mind is because it's the classic NA contenders tier 3, tier 2 player mindset that if we just need to go faster, we need to push, we need to up the tempo, we need to set the tempo, we need to go aggressive, you know what I'm saying? It's a psychological thing for NA. Whereas I think EU players are more open to learning, if that makes any sense. For NA, it's almost more like a psychological impact of we need to just commit and go and push and we need to set the tempo and we're just right? How many times have you guys heard that if you've ever watched any pro players stream? Or you're probably hearing it now that players are actually streaming their scrims, actually. I bet you are. I don't know who's streaming their scrims. I don't need my headphones. I don't know what I'm doing. But I guarantee you hear that. We need to go faster. We need to push. We need to set the tempo. Well, don't talk about we need to play fast, right? We're wasting time. We need to rotate. So the reason why I lampoon it is because it's unbelievably overrated, right? Yeah. So I find in Europe it's generally more acceptable to kind of like look at things more strategically. NA is just more about it's more of an emotional response rather than a strategical decision. Okay, we're watching bronze scrims. My bad, guys. My bad. Okay, let's take a look. Kiriko versus Lucio. The NA hive mind would say, we need to go fast. We're playing Kiriko Winston. Those guys want to play slow. The big brain Spilo viewers, right? What will you guys say? Does Kiriko Winston need to play faster? No. What does faster even mean? What do you mean? No. What does it mean? What's the difference between Kiriko and Zenyatta? What's the difference between Ball and Winston? Staging, mobility, range. Yep. Kiriko has a lot more choices with the positions that she can take than Zenyatta. She can play a lot closer. Winston, as well, is phenomenal at up close. The best tank, dive tank in the game, up close. So if Red can stage their angles and stage their dive by closing their pawns up close, they will win. If they are unable to do that, and Soldier and Zenyatta keep their pawns marking angles from a range, they will lose. So, how does Team Peps do it? How do you do it for Team Peps? How do you do it? Yeah, when I'm done, guys, I'll post the screenshots to all the codes. So you guys are more than welcome to go and watch them again if you want. Clear out Hottie and Sparker to set up their own engage. So you have the clearing angles part, right? Maybe. But what's the problem with trying to clear out Hottie and Sparker? At what range will you be fighting? Up close, right? Wrong. So you can't fight for the angles there. You need to fight for space, but you can't fight for the space in the open. You fight for the space in close. It's not about fast versus slow. It's about short versus long, right? So where can red take fights or set up angles that's enclosed or tight? Think about it. This doesn't really help us much, but maybe. What if we all go 3, 2, 1, jump across, TPs, boom, we get in here. We can get in here, right? It's not too hard to ask. Winston jumps across, Genji dash, Tracer, Lucio amp, with Winston bubble. So then now what do we do from here? Now what? You're not getting spammed in here. Nice job, but we're making no progress. Now what? Go through here, maybe. Go around, maybe. Maybe Genji tries to wall climb and cut with Lucio. Maybe Kiriko, Genji wrap around this way and come up this way. You guys get what I'm saying? Like, a lot of it's going to depend on how the enemy team responds. You're not really sure. Are they going to rotate all the way over here? That might be smart. But you have to create some sort of chaos up close to see what happens. Let's see what happens. The question is, are they going to do that at all? And this is already a little bit concerning. You see what I'm saying? Is that unlucky? Yes and no. Yes and no. Now, you could also argue that this rotation is fine. Crook just lets them dive and then TPs across here. That's probably pretty good. So this rotation could have worked, but this is what happens. When you play to your effective range, random crap happens. You know? It's not even, just stuff happens. Like, this is good from London. They're hitting them really hard on this rotation to their effective range, right where the Zenyatta and soldiers can see. And most effectively, most importantly, when Landon sees this here, you guys ready for something? You guys ready for something? Where should Landon go right now? Where should Landon go right now? No, not right. You're right, but you're wrong. You have the right idea. Why? Because we've just seen jump. We don't have to be scared of them getting up close anymore because they can't get up close anymore. So we're going to rotate here and we're going to punish them right now. So when they've used the things that allow them to get close, they are now vulnerable to you shooting them. You do want to go right eventually. Like, let's say they live and whatever. Then you need to go and do your rotation quickly to maintain range. You have the right idea. I'm kind of gotcha-ing you a little bit. It's a little bit unfair, especially when you see ball, right? Hottie fist. Right now, and you are going to see Landon. In fact, more than Landon, Astro can even push forward here. Look at this. Just walk forward. I'm not scared anymore. No, I'm glad you got it quote unquote wrong, because you didn't even really get it wrong. You're just thinking about different timing windows because it's a really interesting discussion. Okay, so Naga says, let's make this work. Let's make this work. I thought Naga swapped for some reason, but no, he was always on Genji. Does Ball just want to slam rotations? Yes. Ball wants to say, oh, you're trying to get from point A to point B quickly. I'm going to slow you down so you have to stay more out in the open. Ball says you have to stay in the open more. That's what Ball says. Ball says you have to stay in the open more. In fact, here, you might be asking, why is Astro playing with Landon? Should Astro be playing with Landon? Landon's under no threat whatsoever. What do you guys think? I actually don't even know if I know the answer to this one, frankly. There's logic on both sides here. Yeah, I'm wondering if with Backbone here, the one thing that maybe Landon deserves rotate is because they want to do the rotations here or rotations here super fast, right? We got to get Landon in and out very quickly. We don't have any time. Maybe. But then also, you're right. Maybe if he's with Backbone here, there's more damage opportunities here. Something to consider. I think Astro is probably something that he's probably experimenting with. And yes, that's right. There's also nothing stopping if Astro is split with Backbone. They could also do a 3-man rotation and do a quick jump to here, which without Lucio, boop, is pretty much death. Another good setup from London. Even look at Landon here. Landon here, Backbone here, Hottie in one angle, Sparker on the other angle. I actually don't even think Sparker has to chase here, but yeah. Good slam. Dash, deflect, they make the rotation, chat. Problem is that Tracer's isolated. I actually think Tracer should go with the team and split late. Early pressure again on range. They're trying. There's the rotation that we looked for. There's the rotation that we looked for. They've marked Tracer on the off angle though. There's the rotation with speed. They hit him. Oh no, Tracer, no! No! Do you see the mistake? Do you see the mistake? The mistake is you don't need to engage right now. You don't need to fight right now. Your team is staging. Sparker is getting help. You're not getting help. And yes, again, Hottie slows down the dive. Now, actually here, London's rotation is good, but slow. And in fact, Landon should not rotate this way. He should actually tuck back this direction towards cover. All that being said, it's a good try. It's a good try. I want you guys to imagine that fight, but with a living Tracer. And think about how that would have gone for Ben Best's team, or Team Peps. You know? I respect it. It was close. They almost got it. They almost got it. And we're screwed. Oh. Zin Lucio left in the open too long. Astro. He greeds that. Once you use boop, you need to be more patient. That's unfortunate. Will Landon live? They have to chase so far. Will he live? Will he live? No, he will not. But the good news, chat, is we still have angles. Hottie is still pursuing. Let's see. Did the mines get value? Yes, they do. They isolate and they kill the Genji. Wow. They still have the angles. Look at it, guys. Look at it. Look at it. Oh, look at Backbone. Woo! Look at him go. Look at him. This is really good execution there. Actually, Sparker shouldn't die here. What's going on, Spark? Rolled. May one trick, by the way. Exactly. Good. Now, early pressure. Oh, Landon. Oh. This is how you use your trance, by the way. Not just running it down mid by opening up an angle. Come on, Landon. Come on, Landon. Come on, Chief. Too close. Too close. You notice that? Both Astra and Backbone too close. Too close. GG easy. The good news is that they still have Sparker here, Hottie here, Landon here. Surely Peps wins this fight, guys, right? Surely. Maintains range. Oh, Ben Best. No. Dude, how many times have we seen that where people have just died without pressing Q? Like, that has happened so much, actually. Oh, he's way. Oh, that is actually disastrous. Did you guys see that? They mess up the beat blade. Uh-oh, angles. Angles. They mess up the timing of the beat blade there. That's really unfortunate. Oh, Astro. This is just deathmatch, guys. Oy. That's it.
30 seconds remaining.
And look at that. Immediately retake space. No wasting time sitting on main. No. Retake your space. You know Primal's coming, right? You got to retake your space, right? And now this is really hard because now they have to worry about point. There's the boot from Land or Admiral. There's the Primal. He wants it. He wants it. He's by himself. They're peeling. They're peeling. Sparker just needs to live. Will Sparker live? Sparker doesn't live, but they killed the Primal as a result, and they catch the dive. London just does a pretty good job of keeping their distance here. They could have done a much better job, but yeah, that's it. That's it. Any questions about that one before we move on to the attack for London? Boop from Admiral. Yeah, sorry. Boop from Astro. Freudian slip. Where does Backbone Sonic here? Yeah, Sonic's top. They're looking to see what supports they're running. So I want you guys to try to predict the setup from London for me. Try and predict it. Think about it. Try and predict it. How are they going to take space here? Give me some ideas. Where's Landon going to play? What's Sparker going to go? Where's Hottie going to slam? Where does Backbone want to go? Just think about it for a second. Remember, it's all about the range. We need to take longer sight lines. So how do we do that? Can you set up Backbone on high ground where Naga is right now? That would be a great position if we can get there, but Ben Best's in the way. So how do we get rid of him? Yep. Yep. Exactly. Relanavi. That's Navi. That's what they were missing on Ilios, right? Remember, Landon was rotating too fast instead of setting up angles first. I think Landon is going to stay here. He's going to chill. We're going to see some pocket on Sparker, pocket on Hottie, force Naga out, force FD God out, maybe get Ben Best out. Then we set up Backbone here. Get Backbone with some pocket. Astro probably goes with Backbone here. Sparker's playing around Hotel here. Hottie looks to rotate up around here. And then maybe Landon rotates forward if he even needs to. So let's see it. I want you guys to watch this from just a chess standpoint. Look at where red is now and look at where blue is now and watch it. Assuming that they cap this quickly, this should be very pretty to watch. Let's even lose it. Let's do 0.75, actually. This will be fun. So as long as they're within Zenyatta sightlines, it's better. And blue has to avoid taking poke. They do not want to engage from that Zenyatta at that range. Hottie, there's the Discord on FD God. Sparker takes the flank. Bam. Zenyatta sightlines, ball slam, soldier angle. Actually, they have Soldier and Zenyatta stacked here. And Tracer on the flank. Look at that. Astro is a bit passive, yes. But it might be because they're expecting Ben Best or maybe Naga to go for him instead. Now, the question here is what could Blue have done about this? Because look at what happens, right? Wow, it's just too easy. Man, look at that. Look at that. It's just too easy. Oh my gosh, everybody's almost dead. Look at that. It's too easy, right? So what can Blue do? How can Blue abuse their closer range strength? They can't. Landon's too far away. And they don't have any sort of angle on him at all. Let's be specific. I want you guys to tell me, what does Naga, FD God, Crook, XZ, what do they need to do? Be specific here. Be specific with how the setup needs to look. Sure. Why is FD God where he is? Where should FD God be? Where should FD God be? Think about it. Think very carefully. Where does FD God need to be just to help his team control space, to be a good pawn? Yes, exactly. With Ben Best. If FD God is here, Sparker is not allowed to force Ben Best to jump out. He pushes Sparker out. Great. Yes, that's a great start. What about Naga? Where can Naga play to deny the engage? Statue, exactly. Why is Naga on top of the location where Ball, Tracer, and Zen want to dive? It's too easy to spy check. They'll interrupt your hack. If Naga's here, I want you guys to see what Naga will see. If Naga is here. All right. Ping, 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 ping. Oh. Short sightline. You see it? Short. He's hiding from the Zen soldier because he's too far away. But Balam totally shuts down Hottie. FD God and Ben Best totally shuts down Sparker. London's still stuck in a choke. And meanwhile, Kiriko Tracer are still preventing their Tracer from taking a different angle here. You see it? You see it? 2 minor adjustments of positioning into shorter sight lines, not standing out in the open with your Sombra and Lucio, and all of a sudden, Peps gives up 0 space. And in fact, London loses a ton of HP. Won't be Ben Best to be foresight anyways? Not likely, no. Hottie won't even be able to make the slam or shoot. Ben Best has no reason to peek. The only damage he takes is from Tracer, who will be marked by the enemy Lucio. And heck, you could even, once you see the Tracer up here, you could even, once you hack the ball, you can have your Kiriko TP up here and force a Tracer out. And just have the Tracer hold the angle by herself over here because there's nobody over here. You see it? There it is. We've solved it. Is there even a next step for Peps? Great question. Yes, you would have to do something like a rotation through hotel dive, like this way. Or maybe you could kind of sneak out this way or do a rotation through this dive. It's very difficult. It is. Once you lose space, it's an anaconda. Once you lose space, it gets harder and harder to retake. The chances of you clutching are become lower and lower and lower. The solution is not staying out in the open. Unironically, yes. Unironically, the mistake of FD God is playing in this position instead of actually controlling space. So it's bad range. It's bad range management. You notice that everything stopped for Team Blue when they stopped paying attention to range. There's a rotation for Landon. There's a rotation for Hottie and Sparker. Backbone knows he's isolated. He should probably run to spawn. It's a little bit of ego there, but I know I respect it, I guess. As long as he can live or live a long time. And even if Backbone dies at this point, it's still cooking. Like, really, there's no reason for Backbone to even die here if he just runs to spawn. And actually, I don't think Hottie should commit here. This is a mistake from Hottie. Lets Backbone die. He's done his job. We now have Zen, Lucio, and high ground. We have Tracer. We have Ball in our angle. This is a feed from Hottie. And a bit of a feed from Backbone as well. I think Backbone here honestly needed to run to spawn. Like that right there, that was his window to run to spawn. Instead, he runs back this way and dies, which is like still fine, but yeah. And then Astro needed to get the high ground faster. Landon playing Ring Around the Rosie to maintain range, and it's unironically working. Look at this, guys. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at him. They don't know where he is. Hottie with the punch. Look at that. Look at that. That's it. It's cooked. It's over. Should have Backbone gone with Landon to start? No, I think holding the off angle on main was good. I think holding the off angle on main is good because then it meant that they had to go for either Backbone or Landon, and really both should have lived. Landon is slow, but he has speed. Backbone has no pocket, but he has his sprint. And you guys can see that he should have lived that. And that's why they're running the soldier, because the soldier is the angle that you don't, is the DPS that you don't have to babysit as much as another DPS. Landon is just feeling it, man. What? Yeah, I can have food. He's just feeling it. You know, this is the thing. Yes, this is the thing. When you start to feel it, you start to play angles on accident because you just want to pop off, right? You just want to take flanks and stuff. The only problem is that these flanks are just too close. So it's like, even though it's a cool play, it's just too close. So a little bit of ego here. We're just feeling ourselves. We just want to keep going, which means that oftentimes your map control, ironically, will be pretty good, but you're not playing your range well. You need to be feeling it, but you need to be, remember what we said, when you have trance, what kind of plays do you make with trance usually? Wide, not push. Wide, not push. Wide, not push, usually. Although there is something to be said for the element of surprise. Drop. Ah, but you gotta see, it's how quickly Zenyatta folds up close. Point 2 is hard with dive. Yes, you got to be super creative. This is the point where a team, Paps should have a major advantage. Because it's going to be hard for Zenyatta and Soldier to set up on good angles that are safe and far. It's a very congested point. Whereas Kiri, Sombra have many more options. What happens here? Crook just dies. Crook just feeds. So Crook just feeds. Landon look at that. Look how smart this is from Landon. This is on purpose. Check this out. Force the beat engage or the primal, disengage, create distance, and hide. Okay, so maybe a little bit better cover usage here, but that was pretty smart. And he does force the primal and the beat, so. And they commit EMP. So now, ironically, the Lijiang comp doesn't even need to be scared to get close anymore because you have beat and they have nothing. You can just run into them if you want. You have better poke and brawl now.
I've got you in my sights.
Now, I will say, give credit to Team Peps for knowing they're at an ult disadvantage. So what do? They do something kind of crazy. That's pretty juicy right there. They knew the ult situation. Again, there have been moments where Paps has looked pretty smart with some of their setups, right? That was good. I mean, all things considering, that fight should not have been as... I mean, the fact that this fight is still going is actually insane. This fight should have been lost 10 days ago. And if that pulse hits, even more so. All right. Now, this is where London's going to have an advantage again. The Reaper is... okay, so chat, why the Reaper swap? You guys tell me. I want you to think really hard, and then I want you to turn your brain totally off and give me both answers. You know what I'm saying? Monkey. Yes, that's the totally brain off answer. Monkey, good. Monkey, guys. Monkey, shoot, monkey. But what's the super big brain answer? Range. Yep, that's it. We just got done talking about spying as well, actually. Yeah. Second point is very congested for Soldier. So if you're not going to be able to take any angles, then why not go better short range character? Yeah, that's it. Perfect. That's it. Thank you. Now, is Reaper going to be better here? I'm not so sure. I don't know. I mean, there's still the monkey, but let's find out. Actually, I don't know what would be better here. I don't know how good Sojourn is, but Sojourn would feel pretty nice if they could play Sojourn. Maybe Genji for the high grunts, but then it's hard to finish with Genji, and Genji doesn't feel great versus that comp. It's hard to say. Mirror Sombra? Maybe, yeah. Maybe. It wouldn't be bad. Reaper is really good at controlling this high ground. I'm just sitting on... I don't love Backbone sitting on Landon, honestly. I love Backbone to be playing up with Hottie and then dropping here. Yeah, Peps is having a really hard time avoiding damage. And FD God is getting caught a lot poking from range. Like, this is the kind of stuff that you just can't do. You can't peek. You do your Lucio rotations and you dive like this with Kitsune, right? You do not... Peps is doing a really poor job managing range. And it's not just FD God. Even this Kitsune Rush is just never going to work. It's just never going to work. They're too far away. They're just going to sit there and light you up. Look at that. I mean, literally nothing. Literally nothing. Just nothing. And then now backbone clears top. Backbone clears top. Bam, 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 bam. They peel back on Hottie. Landon's getting really close. I think he's trying to force the beat. Yeah, that was kind of silly from Landon. I don't think that's necessary. There's the EMP, but they've fallen back so far that nobody but Naga can get there, and then they kill Naga. Sparker doesn't disengage quite as well as you'd like, but this is just really, really good range management from London for the most part, and really poor range management. Yeah, Landon is feeling it. The problem with feeling it is that you just, this human nature tends to press W. They need to synchronize Reaper and Ball TP stuff up here. I'm surprised they haven't done that yet. I don't like how Backbone's playing the Reaper right now. I don't like how Backbone's playing the Reaper right now. If he could keep the Winston Lucio off of high ground, it's going to be actually impossible. Even the Sombra kind of stuff. Like, I know he's thinking, oh, maybe Sombra here, but I don't think it's worth. They punished the engage. They should have known that beat was coming. They needed to live that and re-engage afterwards with Pulse or something. Landon's a little close here. Bubbles, yeah, Landon just a little too close there. Mostly it's just individual ints from London. People getting a little too close or a little bit too sloppy that are opening up opportunities for Peps, because Peps now looks honestly totally lost. Like, Peps really has looked totally lost at this point. Or controlling Mega. Yeah. Okay. Any questions, guys? The problem with Landon feeling is the NA genes come out in him? Yes. Any questions? Yes and no. Sigma can control Zenyatta Lucio fairly well. Yes. But there's probably some counter swaps in here in the pro meta, or maybe the map just isn't that good for him that's preventing him from being played a lot. But yeah, it's okay versus the Zen stuff. If you lose high ground on first, is it better to flip map or back to second? Generally, it's better to flip the map. What would you do to recommend to improve first point defense? Be more flexible with what positions you play. You think Goku would beat the 2023 Florida Mayhem? Not a chance. You think there's a way to stop the balls in comps outside of maps like Circuit? Yeah, I mean, I think that, like, this is far from set in stone meta-wise. Does Zen still work at 25 fewer HP? Maybe. Not sure. Why sometimes Sparta go with Hottie the same angle at first? It's fine to have them on the same angle, as long as you have another angle elsewhere. Nobody beats Goku, says Boiled Toddler. Well put, Boiled Toddler. Have pro teams changed how they engage based on the DPS passive, or is it more of the same? It's most of the same. What is the meaning of life? I can't tell you. Are we going to see a lot more soldier players in the league now? I would not say necessarily, no. It depends on how broken Soldier is right now in Live Fetch. I hear he's pretty strong, so there's a chance, but am I expecting a hotfix update? Yes. I'm hoping that they don't nerf Zen too hard, because I think this is one of the best metas that we've ever had. I'm just hoping that they fix things like Ryan Firestrike and stuff like that, you know? Cereal oatmeal for taste, cereal, for sure. I think Zenyatta, Ana, and Lucio are like the best, most honest supports to have meta. I know Ana's controversial, I know Zen's controversial as well, but I really enjoy those characters being being meta, those three. Do you think the meta will become more close range or more long range? A great question. I actually have no idea. Favorite way to enjoy eggs? I'm just a basic scrambled guy, you know what I'm saying? Biggest underdogs for NA OWCS. I don't know all the teams yet. I don't know all the teams. I've not been following the teams as much. You think this meta is turning out to be more map-based? Yeah, I think early meta is always more map-based, though. That's not unique to this meta outside of like Malga crap. Because people don't really know what to play. They don't know what's like OP synergy-wise, so they just play like what's good on the map, which is smart.